There we go. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. I'm glad that you could join us, the community, the Den folk, this evening. Got a lot to talk about. I apologize. I know some of y'all didn't get the message yesterday that there was no Den last night. Had some things to take care of. Like I said, I told him we'll be doing a lot of revamping, and I got to take the time when I have the time. I've been handling some other stuff, future preparations and things like that. Just getting things together. So, welcome to the Den. I'm your host. Shout out to Culture. I'm forever grateful while we do this, while I talk my shit. I'm going to talk about oppression, man. We're going to talk about oppression. Criticism is not oppression. It's something I saw earlier, and it's not just to do with this, but I want to talk about this event that took place. And we're going to get into all of that, but it's all about y'all. I hope that y'all are having a great weekend, Sunday, whatever, all the information you know, they'll be rotating throughout the stream. We're not forgetting all that. Shout out to everybody who came through to the live podcast. I wasn't able to give a link because I guess it didn't give you a real link until the live stream starts. It's kind of weird. I'm going to figure it out. We're going to get that smoothed out. But shout out to everybody who came through, listened, watched, talk shit, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for joining. We're going to try to make that a Saturday thing. We'll see how that works out, from this point forward. And the cool thing about that is too, because I can, if I'm on the road or if I'm doing something like that, I can still, do those kind of from my phone. So, we'll pretty much be able to keep those kind of things going. So, but shout out to everybody who came through from that. Again, this is the best conversation on the internet. The reason why this is the best conversation on the internet is because you people, yes, you people make this such a wonderful, wonderful conversation. Let's talk about it. See what we got join us tonight, whatever, and then let's get into it. I miss you people. I miss y'all. I do. I feel like when I don't be in the Den, man, I be missing y'all. I don't even know half of y'all like that. Kenneth, still extremely disappointed. I'm not even gonna do you bad and put you out there like that, Kenneth, because that would be a whole move on my part. But I'm extremely disappointed. Of all the things that you've done in your shenanigans and interactions that we've had, I'm extremely disappointed by that. Culture, what's the motherfucking deal? Mac 11, what's the motherfucking deal? Kenneth, Shannon Jones, Miss Bell, what's the motherfucking deal? Miss Meat, glad you could join us. Sourberry, always in the house, glad you could join us. Now, Sweetberry, I ain't gonna do you like that. Let me see, hold on, she's still in pistachios already. Janet Dunbar, what's the motherfucking deal? Bad and Bougie, what's the motherfucking deal? 335, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Only one. What's the only one joined us on the podcast, went left, got something to eat, didn't bring us nothing when she came back. What kind of shit is that? Joe S., what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see what we got going on here. Let me see. Heidi. Anyway, hello, Heidi. But, James Hard, what's the motherfucking deal? So let's get to the conversation, man. Let's talk about what's going on. So if you don't know, I believe Georgia State Representative Erica Thomas said she went to a grocery store, Publix, I believe. I've never heard of it. But a Publix, I don't know what it's like. If y'all have a Publix wherever you are, let me know what that's all about. I've never heard of Publix. And she put up this live video. Was it yesterday, maybe the day before? I saw it yesterday. But I want to say maybe it got put up there or the day before. I don't know. I might have caught it late. Anyway, puts this video up, man. And I saw it. I watched it. And I laughed, right? And y'all be like, Honcho, that's cold-blooded. Why you laughing? You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself and laughing at this woman's pain. Let me tell you something, man. I know a lot of y'all disagree with me and my views on racism and the way I look at a lot of shit, because I think there is racism. There's these racism accusations, and I think there's real racism. And so these little petty-ass interactions that do not impacts your life one way or another unless you run on the internet and talk about them, that's not real racism. To me, those are altercations. Those are criticisms. Real racism, well, there's going to be some problems. We'll get into that. Anyway, gets on there, and the reason why I started laughing is the first thing she says is, well, I know I had 15 items and it was a 10 item or less. Like, bow, okay, argument is over with. This whole thing is ruined. This whole thing is ruined. Like, it's over with. I don't even want to hear anymore, right? I'm like, I'm done with the conversation. Done with the conversation, right? Anyway, so she come with the crocodile tears. She's, I didn't know why. I didn't even say anything. I don't know why you would do that. And my kid was right there. Oh. Like this whole fucking thing, right? This whole fucking just these theatrics that she put on for this Facebook Live video, right? Well, he said, go back to your country. He said this and this and this, right? Said all this stuff. Perfect timing that this happened to a state representative right after the accusations of the Trump situation. And I'm gonna talk about that Trump thing too, because a lot of people asked me how I felt about that, and I didn't get into that fully. Okay, and this is I'm gonna talk about that genuinely. So very convenient that happens, right? Super convenient. They go and find the guy, right? They go and find the guy. Man, look. Now you don't make any sense because now you're letting your emotions. If you're in a fucking express lane with more than enough fucking items, that's your fucking fault. It's your state representative. You telling me she can't read? I mean, come on. I don't care if you're 9 months pregnant. I didn't knock you up. As the man said, there were 2 other items. Anyway, they go. Let's finish the story. Because when people come in here and say crazy things, it gets real funny. Because apparently, like a lot of people really don't understand my perspectives, and if you don't, that's fine. I really don't care. Lumping and making assumptions, it's a no-no. Shame on you. But man said there were 2 other lanes wide open. He had 3 items. She had 15. He said damn near 20. So I'm supposed to believe, and this man did his homework. This man did his homework. Because she was, if you see her facial expression, because they brought them both together to have the interaction, right? They had them at, she's a good 6 inches taller than he is. If this was a prize fight, they couldn't fight each other. They're in different weight classes. Regardless if she was pregnant or not, she's got size on that man. So you're telling me that this man oppressed the shit out of her. This man looked up to her and told her, if you don't get out of this line, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense, right? So regardless, this is a little bitty dude. This dude is tiny, okay? Tiny little motherfucker. Like, and when I saw it, I'm dying laughing. Like, the more I saw, the more I died laughing. Because here's the deal. You wouldn't have been forcing them tears in that Facebook Live if that was the case. Anyway, the man tells his story. He's like, man, I went outside. Well, I talked to somebody. I talked to one of the grocery store workers. They said, we can't do anything, but you can say something as a person. He said he went outside, came back in. That's how I knew he was telling the truth, because a motherfucker admit that he had to go through a thought process and do all this other shit. He's like, I went and saw the camera, and he had details. He gave a detailed explanation. You know what I'm saying? He gave a detailed explanation of what happened. He went and watched the video, so obviously, you know, he probably felt like he was in the wrong in some way. And for her to say, I didn't say anything, or didn't, I have a hard time fucking believing. Now, do I believe she was just a pregnant woman who may have been emotional and had a very uncomfortable interaction? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what took place. But for her to sit here and say, this man said, go back to your whatever, he even admitted to saying that he called her a bitch. Now, come on, like, he wouldn't have, if this man wanted to fabricate anything, he wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't have admitted a lot of the stuff that he was saying. The man, and he was embarrassed. I did call her a bitch, and I'm not white, I'm Cuban. So again, you know, shenanigans and nonsense, right? Prepaid, what's the motherfucking deal, man? And so, yeah, and so immediately after that, I'm not supporting. Somebody did something, I'm not supporting, just like African American. She didn't support her own story. Immediately after, well, he didn't really say that, but he said some things that were, you know, representative of those statements. I just can't remember. It ain't been 24 hours. And you're telling me you couldn't remember what happened? You went immediately to a lie. This was a traumatic situation. And you're telling me you couldn't remember what happened in such a traumatic situation that scarred you and your small child's life. Right? Your child, Mom, why would he say such a thing like that? He called me ignorant, and I just wanted to tell him how smart I was. And well, apparently there's a video. And then once he started talking about you saw her facial expression change, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, oh, Miss Me, stop the nonsense. If I got 3 items, and this is the express lane, and you got 20-something items, I'm going to tell you something too, man. Get your motherfucker. I don't care about them kids. I don't care about none of that other shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you got to go. You fucking up the program. Look, I couldn't stand up that long because I'm 9 months pregnant. But you sure stood up to go have that TV interview, right? You know what I'm saying? You sure stood up to have that TV and you wasn't in the cart. You know, anybody else who feel like they can't walk, man. You see them all the time in the stores. You see them all. Them motherfuckers go for them little motorized carts so quick. It be people who don't be needing them goddamn carts. What you talking about? What you talking about? I don't have the whole story. They had a mutual interview and she backtracked her story. She backtracked what she said. Have you watched all 3 of the videos? Have you watched all the videos? There's 3 videos that you need to watch. She backtracked. There's the one she put out on Facebook Live. They went and found the man. And she's standing right, towering over this man, about to lay a perfect form tackle on this man. She's bigger than this man, easily. So I'm supposed to believe that he just decided to go oppress her. She was just devastated. Any woman who feels like she has a slight advantage, especially a short man, you know, it's his business. If I got 3 things in life, quit Justin. Look, hey, you got to stop this. God damn it, Angela. Look here, Angela. I ain't calling you Miss Me. Angela. I'm not covered for anybody because of color. Y'all already know that by now. I don't care if it was white, black, pink. I don't care if it was one of these niggas that they trying to free from Area 51. If you got too many items in the line, you know what I'm saying? If you got too many items in the line, you got to fucking move. Like, come on, man. I'm trying to get in there. I came in here and grabbed 2, 3. If I go to the grocery store and I have my stuff on my mind, I'm gonna go beep, beep, beep. Let me hear, yeah, beep, beep, beep. That's my Area 51 code. If I know the store, I know exactly what I need. I'm not gonna be in the store 3 or 4 minutes because I'm gonna go get exactly what I need. And then now I have to go to another lane. I have to go to another place because you made a bad decision. And he even said the other things were open because he ended up going to a different line. So he had to be inconvenienced with his 3 items instead of being able to go to the express lane. Well, she could have done that, right? So anyway, I'm not caping for nobody. Not my kid. Look, if it would have been my old lady, the nigga would have been beat up. It would have been a whole different set of standards. But it's not mine, so I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be honest with y'all. And yes, I do have some pent up den energy. Shout out to 335. Yeah, God damn it. But, you know, hey, that's a whole nother story. But to lie on this man and say that this man said, go back to where you came from and go back to Africa and all that. This was not a racial incident. And this is what it was. It was a criticism of her actions, which was you had too many items in the line. It led to a small altercation, and she tried to paint it like this fucking man accosted her for no reason. Like he just walked up to her with the little blonde beady bees and said, hey, you just need to go back to Africa, you whatever. He ain't even say none of that shit. He didn't even say these things. Like this man, look, trust me, if he was trying to cover himself up, she was right there in his face. They hit him with they try to put a hit piece on him. She was there basically like she was conducting the interview, right? So my thing is, when have you ever seen them do that too? When have you ever seen somebody bring somebody of who had an altercation and pull up on the man's house? She all at the man crib and shit in his front yard, damn near looking like, and he's speaking his piece. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, okay, well, I don't know about public. I don't care about that. But my thing is, he said he went to another, so he went to another line. It doesn't matter. If the line is 10 items or less, and you got 20 items, whose fault is that? Can she not read? You know what I'm saying? He's a woke guy. So all I'm saying is like, come on, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not, there's no justification. There's no getting around. Like, we got to stop making excuses for this woman. You're a Georgia state representative. You have some level of intelligence. You can't go an aisle over. That's end of story right there. That's it. Like, there's no other nothing. The pregnancy ain't an issue. The race wasn't an issue. You know, he admitted, he said that she was being ignorant. He said he called her a bitch. He admitted those things. So like, what is that like? That has nothing to do with anything. That's not racial stuff. You can be ignorant. But anyway, we're going to open up the line and say, and I want y'all to call in. I hope y'all fired up. I'm pushing buttons and moving levers and turning knobs. I hope everybody fired up, goddamn. He's a Trump hater too? Wow, that's crazy shit. Wow, that's crazy. I haven't even seen him. He looks like a little weirdo though. That's the funny thing about it. But yet, he looks like a white guy. Let me exploit this opportunity. I just saw an article the other day that said that white politicians should not be able to criticize politicians of color. Not about race, just should not be allowed to and this is why I said criticism is not oppression. That said, white politicians should not be allowed to criticize politicians of color. That's the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard. Your color does not protect you from being a fucking idiot. Like, there's no Blackberry. I went and got a tan, so I can't be stupid. I got dark. Man, I almost killed Scotty today. Took Scotty on a walk. And I had a couple of bottles of water or whatever. I used to run with Scotty. A few years back, me and Scotty used to go for a morning run. We used to get it in, right? Those days are over, okay? And so the thing about that, I mean, regardless of what Publix does or doesn't want, she was in the wrong for being in the line. If somebody's mad about that, there's no fault in somebody. He said he even admitted that he got his stuff. He had already checked out and went outside. But obviously he was miffed about something. He went back and told her something about what she did. That's all it was. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Hey, you did something wrong. Maybe don't do that next time. Then it turns into an argument, whatever it is. But she was in the wrong. It doesn't matter if they said come to my line. It don't matter if they say come to my line, go to this line over here. If you have more items than the express lane, if you got double the number of items in the fucking express lane, then somebody need to tell your motherfucking ass something. When she started crying on the thing, that's the first, I know I had too many items in the thing, but I'm 9 months pregnant. How does that justify? So 9 months, when you get, ladies, can any of you ladies answer this for me, please? I really need to know. So the more pregnant you are, does that like cut off, like signals to the brain? Does that like, how does that work? Does that make you dumber? The more pregnant you become, does that make you like dumber or something? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. How does it work? Because obviously she knew what was up, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 9 months pregnant. I know I had too many, but I'm 9 months pregnant. How does that justify? But he did. But you're not listening, Miss Angela, because he said he went to another lane. He checked out. He went outside and then went back in. He admitted all of that stuff. He went back in and said that he chastised her basically about being in the line. So it's not that he didn't go to another line and get it done. And I know you can say, well, he could have just walked out. Yeah, he could have, but she could have not been in the lane that she wasn't supposed to be in. I mean, so it goes a multitude of ways. Was it something really petty? Yes, it was something really petty that should have stayed in Publix, right? But she's the one that hopped on Facebook Live and made it turn into a big ass thing. It doesn't matter what the cashiers did. It does not matter if the cashier said, hey, the next customer who comes over here gets all their groceries for free, and he was the next customer. It does not matter. Of course he called the news because this woman has fucking made false allegations, so he wanted to put the story out there correctly. What are you talking about? And so if somebody just go out there and shit on your name, you just gonna let them shit on your name, or you gonna go try to correct the story? Especially if this is a state representative, because you know the video is gonna come out. This is the social media day, so the news is gonna say, "Oh, well, the state representative said she was attacked by some racist." They're gonna go to the public store because they go, "Well, we want this information. Can we see the video?" And then now he's trying to clear up his name before it gets continued to get shit on. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like 3 videos. There's 3 videos. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is like, come on, man. Let's like take the sex out of it, take the race out of it. If this was anybody, like, this is what y'all gotta do. This is how I look at situations. This is why people get mad at me, I guess, or whatever, or don't see how I see. I look at 2 flesh beings. I look at them, they're clear, okay? When there's a problem, and then we start adding layers on as the situation takes place, okay? So right now there's this non-binary woman, this non-binary man, and they had an altercation, but they're non-binary, so they don't even have any sex. So these 2 non-binaries have an argument. Non-binary number 1, I'm not even going to give it a gender or whatever. Non-binary 1 went into an area that says 10 items or less with 20 items. Non-binary 2 had 3 items and was trying to get in and out quickly. Well, non-binary 2 is now inconvenienced to have to go to another lane that may be further down the way, when non-binary 2 should have been able to just go straight through, because non-binary 1 was hogging the lane. And we ain't talking about like some Slim Thug H-Town shit, just hogging the grocery lane. Non-binary 2 is miffed about this. Non-binary 2 is probably, according to y'all in his tweets, and he's super wokey, he's probably emotional. He could probably have a little bit of looseness in the wrist. I don't know. He's non-binary, so I'm not saying anything. Goes out and he's mad. People get mad about stuff nowadays, right? We just had somebody get killed over some rap music. So people get mad about things nowadays. So non-binary 2 goes back in because apparently non-binary 1 is taking a long time. They're still in line with their 20 items, and non-binary 2 was able to get behind them, go to another lane, check out, go outside the store, talk to an associate, and then still come back, right? So obviously non-binary 1 was taking a super long time. There's no race, there's no sex, there's no nothing. That person's in the wrong. That's it. That's it. There's no justifying that they were. And then so non-binary 1 gets upset because they were chastised for their poor decision making. And they go and they look at the difference between non-binary 1. Non-binary 2 has white flesh. And non-binary 2 has probably protruding genitalia. That's it. I'm going to use these things against him and say, oh, and then there's another, the president looks like non-binary 2. So we're going to say all this, we're going to tolerate it. He told me go back to my country. I guarantee that man was scared shitless. That's why he had to go step outside to think about it. But he's like, you know what? I'm tired of getting pumped. I'm going to tell somebody about themselves. She's so much bigger than that man. Have y'all seen it? Have y'all actually seen them side by side? Go look at the thumbnail to this video. She's larger than that man. And in the video, she not approaches him, he says something, and she moves forward on him. He's the one stepping back. She could beat the brakes off this man. She could easily, man. If they was to scrap like a Bagel Boss and hide your kids, hide your wife in a fight in September, if they got in the ring, she would beat the brakes. I put everything. I put all my money. I put all your money. I put whatever they got at the Federal Reserve. I put all the money on her, and everybody gets rich. It's not even close, but people act like she's oppressed and she's this tender little angel who just got violated by this big bad white man. This dude is a puny ass. This dude's a punk, dog. Come on, get the fuck out of here. He just expressed some shit. But all of a sudden now he's the myth, because as soon as you say racist and I was accosted, she's crying and doing all this shit. You thinking of some big fucking biker motherfucker probably that, he's probably got all kind of tattoos and he probably had his hood back. He probably had the holes in it and all this nonsense, right? Nonsense. Like I say, all I'm saying is this, come on, man. Doesn't matter. False accusations are false accusations. This is no different, in my opinion, than the Jesse Smollett, aside from the fact that an actual verbal altercation took place that wasn't staged. But after you go back and go run to the media, social media, whatever else, and just make it this big thing. But like I said, what the icing on the cake is the video, the next interview they did after her, when she basically he didn't say those words exactly, but he made references to things along the lines of that. Like what? You know what I'm saying? So how was it that after it just happened, he said this, and this. When it was fresh on your mind, you jumped on Facebook Live and this happened in front of my child. I can't believe he said that. Well, now I've had a day or two to think about it after he's seen the video. Once he said, I've seen the video, her expression changed a little bit. Go back and watch it. Y'all can see it for yourself. Once he said that, her expression changed. And then she wasn't as aggressive, her tone changed. Then after that, she's like, he didn't say that. Oh, well, how is it now? How is it now that you remember it better now, later? As it's been a bit more time since it happened. Did you have time to let your emotions calm down and you realize what you were saying? Or maybe you realize that you lied. Which one is it? What is it? Because again, in this day and age, and I say it's fucked up, it's really fucked up because I saw it. And the first thing I thought was a lie. Before I saw the other two videos, before I saw his side, before I saw even her follow-up after that. When she's on there with them crocodile tears, wiping, it wasn't tears, it must have been some sweat or something in her eye because she wasn't wiping no fucking tears. For that whole 2-minute video or whatever, it was like maybe a little wetness in the corner of the right eye. And she caught it before, just in this day and age, oh my God. I was like, come on with the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Come on, this tomfoolery has to stop. And we got to stop being emotional and running behind the next thing, the hashtags, I stand with Erica. Were you standing with Erica in the fucking 10 items or less line with more than 20 items? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. This is the problem. That's what people ain't, man, get off the emotions. Quit connecting historical events that people who have no connection with these other people did, and then just trying to lump it all on top. But then if something happens to you, you're gonna be like, man, don't associate me with this because I ain't like this. Let's stop doing it to other people. That's my premise, and that's what people don't understand. Like, it's not about that, oh, I'm bigging up white people, or I'm beating down black people, or I'm bigging up black people. Man, everybody's on the same playing field, whether you feel like it or not. That's on you. I'll tell you 1,000 fuck. Ain't no white man better than me. Ain't no Indian better than me. Only people better than me is some goddamn Asians. I just can't beat them. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, yes, that's gonna be a run. You know, I'm trying to get my Chicago mic on. But anyway, so that's what I try to get people to understand here, man. Like, that's what I try to get people to stand here. Like, you're not better than me. I don't give a fuck. And people get upset because I'm not gonna sit here and talk about this. I don't care what anybody else is doing because, again, like I was talking about the other night, if you put a Bill Gates or somebody like that in front of a group of young black men in one of these schools who really can't relate to the same story, do you think they listening to him? If you put me in some rich Beverly Hills school to tell my story, do you think that they're going to listen to me? Fuck no. You're going to listen to people who you can relate to. And my problem is that the people who look like me keep telling us these same stories. Oh, this is because of this, it's because of this, it's because of this, we can't make it. It's because of this. See, false racism. There are incidents of real racism that take place. But when you go out and you cry about this bullshit, it undermines the real shit. It undermines incidents where a life is in danger, where blood is drawn, where lives are threatened. This was nothing but somebody being irresponsible and getting chastised for being irresponsible. This ain't no real situation. Should have been a non-news. Should have never got on Facebook Live about it. Should have never been a thing. But now it gets blown out of proportion. A bunch of people rallying behind somebody who lied to them, and now they looking foolish. And because they're so emotionally invested, they don't want to, they don't want to stand down, so they're gonna double down and look even more ignorant. She was in the wrong, man. It is what it is, and I can't wait till the fucking video comes out. I cannot wait till the video comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, here's the deal. I don't care what the cashier said because you cannot prove that. You're making a hypothetical, Angela, but what's more than likely factual because she never. If the cashier would have said that, let me tell you something. If the cashier would have said that, I guarantee that she'd have put that in her life so she could have took any other blame off of herself. Because the first thing she did when she started out is, I know I was in the 15 items, I was in the 10 items or less, and I had like 15 items, but I'm 9 months pregnant. So that's what she did, is to try to deflect any wrongdoing off of her. Trust me, if the cashier would have told her to come here, that's would have been the first thing she would have said. Well, the cashier told me to come to this lane, so that's why I came to this lane. She never said that. You're making that up for her. She's never said that. Otherwise, I guarantee you she'd have said that to make sure any extra blame would have been cast off of her. She did not do that. So I'm about to open up these lines. I've been ranting for like way too long. Let's talk about it. And so let's talk about, let me get this line. Let me get everything in order, man, because this is nonsense and shenanigans, man. And it's like I say, when these issues take place, it ruins the real issues, man. I cannot. Oh, Angela, I need you to call in. We need to argue tonight. I need you to sit the hell down and we need to argue. Okay, look, I ain't even cracked it open, but we got to look down. Y'all already active on the line. Hold on, let me get everything in order. Hold on, pimpin' player. Let me fix this. All right. Hold on, y'all active. I ain't even put the number up, but why the shit ain't going through? What the fuck? All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's good, Honcho? It's Prepaid. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. What's on your mind, Prepaid?
Man, bruh. Miss Meat, you gotta stop this, baby. You gotta stop this shit. You are people like yourself is exactly why women like her get on social media and they lie. This is why we have such a problem in America with people telling these fucking lies, creating these hoaxes. Y'all want to know how great America is? This country is so amazing that motherfuckers got to create problems. They got to create racism. Shit is that good. Bruh, you go to a store, and it says 10 items or less. You got between 15 and 30 items. I don't give a damn if I ain't got nothing planned. I'm getting dead on your ass.
Exactly.
You know, motherfucking well, you got too many items. That's how everybody, first and foremost, you go to a grocery store, Publix, Walmart. I don't give a fuck where you're Randall's, Albertsons. It don't matter. We don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be in a grocery store. Okay. People usually got attitudes the whole nine. So if you got enough items to go through the express lane, you want to utilize the express lane. The express lane ain't made for you to have 30 motherfucking items just because you quote unquote pregnant. If I ain't help you make that baby, I don't give a shit what you got going on. But let me tell you why the shit blew up in their face. And like most hoaxes and most of this shit, these lies people tell, this is why it blew up in their face. That woman, because she was black, assumed that man was white. That's your first mistake. The second mistake you made was you went out here and told this bullshit ass lie, but the lie you told, you figured that the other person was never gonna come forth. See, if you're gonna be one of these wokey wokes, you gotta learn how to pick and choose your battles. That white man who you went and quote unquote lied on, that Cuban man was not finna go for that shit. And the bad part about it was as soon as he came forward, of course social media went and found who he was and found all his tweets. Because the first thing they would have said was he was racist, he was anti-Semitic. They'd have put all the shit on this man. Come to find out, he just as woke as she is. He ride for all niggas. He ride for Ilhan Omar. He ride for all the. He hate Trump. He hate, you know what I'm saying, capitalism. So he just as woke as she is. The crazy part is you just sit up here and lied on one of your one of your supporters, pretty much. And for those of y'all who don't understand how shit work, man, look, when a person asks another person about what happened, in less than 24 hours, they start saying, well, I think that's what happened, but that could have been what happened. They lying, bruh. Stories don't change that fucking fast. You the one who told us the story. How the fuck did it change it? Because you the one told us. If you don't know the facts of what happened, how the fuck is we gonna know? That's how you know people lying. Well, he said something, but it may not have been that, but it was something else that he told you to take your ass back where you came from, as in go to where the fuck you was at the other line. Because you're not going to come here and be getting 15 items, 30 items in a 10 or less line. You can have 6 babies in your stomach. I wouldn't give a shit. Take your ass to the other line. You knew you was pregnant before you got here, correct?
Straight up.
So what the fuck they got to do with me? You was pregnant before you arrived. Get your big sweaty ass and go in the other line like everybody else. Bruh, I'm going to say this, Honcho. I said the last time we spoke on the phone, bruh. These are the facts. If y'all keep calling everything racist, everybody racist, that word racism is going to lose all its luster. I keep telling y'all that. You keep on doing that shit. You cry racist for everything. So when real shit go on in America, ain't nobody going to care. Because niggas is really getting told to go back to their country for real, and that ain't what happened to you. And for black people, or you know, if you're a part of the LGBTQ, which I am also, because I'm trying to get that check, that's not here nor there. You gotta stop riding for shit. You gotta stop riding for shit just because you black. Just because somebody black and you black, or she black and you're a black woman, you can't just ride for these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers will lie for any reason. For any reason. Now, before I get out this phone, Hunter, I'm gonna tell you something. I stand by this. I'm gonna give this man 1 year. So what's today's date? The 21st, 22nd. What's today's date? 21st.
21st, yeah, I think. Yeah, about 21st.
After what happened to him, 21st, I give him 1 year. On July 21st, 2020, I guarantee he's gonna be done with all his political affiliations from the Democratic Party. I guarantee you. Because now that he see how the media done smeared him and how they lie and stuff like that, watch what happened to him now. Just watch.
Okay, that's that.
Just watch how motherfuckers start stepping away from this shit, because he gonna start seeing life for what it really is. And guess who was the person who got the steamroller for this woman, quote unquote? This man told me to go back to my country. Guess who's the first person to retweet that shit? A fucking celebrity. Some celebrity. These Hollywood weirdos do this shit every fucking time. They retweet this shit. We cannot stand for this. We must get behind this. And then when they come to find out that her nappy head ass was lying, they disappear. They go parasailing or whatever rich people do in Cali, in the hills. They go do whatever the shit they go do and disappear. While all these other motherfuckers are sitting around here ready to fight and beat each other up over absolutely nothing. Y'all have got to stop falling for people lying to y'all. It's 2019 and niggas still tricking y'all with racist tweets. Y'all gotta stop, man. You gotta stop. Stop running. Hey, look, Miss Me, it don't matter if you work at the grocery store or not, man. We know how Walmart works. We know how we know all these fucking stores work, man. We know how Walgreens work. You ain't gotta work there and have a PhD to know what's going on around there. You got too many motherfucking items. You know what? I'm starting to get mad. Listen, if any of y'all get in front of me at a 10 items or less and you got 30 items, I don't care if you're pregnant. I'm giving you the Spartan kick. I'm gonna just haul off and kick you dead in your shit and knock all your items out your hand. How about that? That way we ain't gotta have no more racist, lies and fabrication. This man kicked the shit out of me. I sure did. Why'd you do it? Because the bitch shouldn't have had all the items in the line. He was 1,000% correct. I'm glad he got on her ass. I'm fed up. Hopefully, if anybody is a part of the gay community, just know that I'm riding with y'all. Gay reparations, 2019. Let's get it. Good night.
Already pre-played. Man, I want y'all to be 100 with yourselves because, again, like I said, a lot of people are taking these things. Shout out to Dan Strong, man. The left week them said, man, I'm telling you. I know y'all talking about, it's always politics. She's a politician. So she's using her platform as a politician to make this story a thing, to piggyback off the same shit that Trump just said or the tweets of Trump. That's why this is politics. She did this. I didn't say, but because she made this story happen this way that it did. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Hello. All right, well, guess not. The phone line tripping? Hold on, we acting. Hold on, I think the phone line got tripping on us. Hold up, player. Hold on, we're gonna reboot that bitch. We gotta see y'all got it all fired up. You say you couldn't even watch the whole video. Which one? The first one where she was so she was crying? She said he going to jail. Oh wow. Tough. All right, we're gonna run another reboot of the line back if y'all gotta call back in. But my thing is this, man. Let's be real. If you have something to do and you running into the store to grab one thing, one or two items, and somebody in the line in the express line, it's the only express line, they got 20-something items in a 10 item or less line, and you trying to get up out, y'all gonna fucking do the same shit. Yes. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening? Hello? Wow, fuck, I restarted. I forgot I gotta fix the, God damn it, I gotta fix the, the mic. I forgot every time I reset it, I gotta fucking do it. Look, it's too much shit. All right, here we go. Let's try it now. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's Belle. How you doing?
Doing all right, Miss Bell. How are you? And what are your thoughts on this interaction that took place recently?
Interestingly enough, I didn't think I'd have something to say about it, but I actually do.
Okay.
First of all, I've been pregnant at one point or another, and I've been in that line, and I was a cashier on the other side of it at one point when I was young. Now, the woman was wrong. Up, bottom, top, didn't see the whole thing, didn't know that she was black and the other guy was Cuban or white or whatever. But if you step into a line and you're like 5 or 6 items over, you're in the wrong. You have the responsibility to apologize to the person behind you because you're doing something wrong. Not act as though you're entitled to be there because you're pregnant or whatever. You're still doing something wrong. Now, and it doesn't matter whether you're trained to pull customers into your line if you have nothing going on. The person behind you knows that they're in a line, that it's an express. It's their responsibility to be nice to the person behind them because they're doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. Bottom line, there's no race involved. And you're absolutely right. You know, people throw the race card down too many times, and it just makes other races less sympathetic to the cause when it's like crying wolf. Too many times people get disenchanted. And I mean that in no disrespect, because there's a lot of real racism that's still going on. And she really doesn't have an excuse being pregnant. Yeah, women do get stupid being pregnant. I will admit that. However, that still doesn't make her entitled. And it doesn't give either one of them the right to say what they said to each other, but it escalated because she was rude. And that's pretty much all I got on that. Did you fix the raffle thing?
Oh, the raffle was tripping. I missed it. If the raffle was tripping, I missed it. You know, I'll send some love in your direction. You know, because you're the only one
That's
ever.
all right.
You're the only one ever calls out the raffle. So since you being attentive to it, I got you, Miss Bell.
Hey, Sweetberry's got me on all the other fighting. I got to have something for myself, you know. I might be old, but I still got to try to have some game here.
Yeah, Sweetberry a bully though. She got some kind of hack in the system. I don't know if it's in the name or what she got going on, but we'll figure it out.
Hey, I'm not hating. I mean, you know, she wins it. She wins it. That's fine. But it's just, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway, any other questions?
No, ma'am. That's all I got.
All right. I'm back to the boards, and hopefully Miss Meat will calm herself down when she realizes that the woman was responsible, and it's not the cashier or the person behind her, but the person actually doing the wrong thing that has accountability.
Now I want Miss Meat to be fired up. I want her to call in. I'm ready to argue. I'm ready to beef. It's gonna be some Houston, Atlanta. Matter of fact, oh yeah, I'm ready.
Well, I think she's good people. This is one of those things that as a former cashier, I kind of gotta like take a stance on that. The woman was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, all right, I'm good to go, and have a good night.
All right, you too, Miss Bell. I appreciate you calling in.
Sure.
Come on with it, Miss Meat. I see you trying to get in. You just got to be on time. I got to keep it fair to everybody whoever call in next. I'm telling you, I'm warming up. So I'm ready. I want that Plex. Come on with it. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening? The line's is hot tonight. God damn, I can't even touch the mouse. The line's so hot tonight. What's the motherfucking deal? Who got calling into the den tonight, man?
Oh, this is Professor Trio.
What's on your mind, Professor Trio? Oh, man.
I need you to walk me through this story, Honcho.
Okay. So, Erica Thomas, she is a Georgia state representative. Okay.
Okay.
She went to Publix. I want to say it was yesterday. It could have been the day before, but I believe it was yesterday. Now, she says she had 15 items in the cart. The gentleman said she had 20 or more. And she went to a 10 items or less line. Apparently there was an altercation. Now, before we heard the gentleman's side of the story, whatever took place, she gets on Facebook Live, and she gets on there, she's crying, crocodile tears. And she prefaces the whole conversation with, I know I had 15 items in my cart, and it was an express lane, but I'm 9 months pregnant, so, but I know I was wrong for that. Then she says the man told her to go back to Africa, some shit about you don't belong here. She said, he called her ignorant, and she said that she just couldn't say anything to him because she was so distraught. She just wanted to tell him how smart she was, and she was just speechless, and her daughter, or whatever little kid was asking, Mommy, why would he say that? And she just said she couldn't explain it. So that's part one of it. So then the next day, they go and find the gentleman. She said it was a white guy. And so she shows up with news camera crews and all of that stuff. Now, the guy admits that there was an altercation, but he said what happened was he had 3 items. He went to go get in the line. She had about
behind her, right?
Yeah, behind her. He said she had about 20 plus. Petty people count. So that's why I'm feeling like, when a motherfucker mad, they'll sit there, this motherfucker got 1, 2, 3, 4. Because he seemed like a little limp-wristed kind of petty type person. But anyway, so he says he ended up, but there's other lanes that were open. And I know we'll get to that in a second. So he says he ends up going to one of the other lanes, checking out. And he says he asked one of the attendants or whatever, he's like, well, hey, what can be done about this? This woman has all these items and this is 10 items less. They said they can't do anything about it, but he can say something about it. So he decides if he's going, he said he walked out the store, and he said he stopped in front of the store and he thought about it, and then he made up his mind, and he went back in there to tell her something about it. Then he said he told her about her. He says, excuse me, man, with no disrespect. This is what he said. And she didn't correct him on that. So that's why I believe what he said, because she didn't try to charge him. She didn't kind of correct him. He said this with her right there in his face when the news cameras came. He said, I held up a finger and I said, excuse me, man, with all disrespect, with no disrespect, you shouldn't be in this line with that. And then he said, then you berated me and stepped forward on me. And she's like, no, I didn't. He's like, this is all on camera. And then that's when her tune kind of changed. He's like, I watched the camera already. I went and saw the video already. And so basically he said that she was kind of the aggressor in the situation, that he was the one stepping back. Now she's a bit bigger than him, and this is why I kind of believe a little bit of this. And so they said they got into an argument. He said, I admit that I called you ignorant. I admit that I called you, he said, I did call her a bitch. You know, he spelled it out. So that's why I feel like if he seemed to admit more of his wrongs that he did in that situation. He's like, but he didn't seem like he was regretting what he said. He's like, because you shouldn't have been in that line. And he said, and I'm not white, I'm Cuban. And that was kind of the end of that. Now there's a follow-up interview where she was saying that, well, he really didn't say, go back to Africa, but he said some things that were in reference to statements similar to that. And I'm like, okay, so how is it, later on now that he didn't say that when you were first reporting it or you were first live tweeting that you didn't remember all that. But anyway, those are the 3 videos that I've seen. Okay. And now you can express your thoughts on that.
Now with everything laid out before me, they both dead ass wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think neither one of them has the higher moral ground than the other.
Okay.
First of all, yes, she was wrong for getting into the line with more than 10 items. That wasn't what that line was intended for. But at the same time, if you just use your logical thinking, did he hear a conversation between her and the cashier before she got in that line?
No.
If now wait a minute, that cashier could have said, you know what, ma'am, it's fine, just come on through. I don't have nobody in my line. I'll just get you in and out, and you could be on your merry way. Now, I understand him looking at it like, well, damn, this bitch got all this fucking shit. She ain't supposed to be in this line. Then there's another line over there that's available that he could have just easily have tracked to. Now, would this whole situation have been avoided if he would have just simply went to the other line to begin with and not there encountered the lady's items? Yes. The situation would have been avoided if she would have took her ass to the correct line? Yes. Now, even after all that, even after he decides to talk to the other cashier about some shit that another cashier is doing with this lady over here, then he goes outside the store. Could this have been avoided if he would have just took his ass home? Yes. So then he makes up his mind, thinks about it, turns back around and goes back inside and decides to confront the lady. Let me tell you something, Honcho. In this instance, she fucked up once, but he fucked up a few times.
Okay.
If you really just think about it, that's not your place.
Is it not his place?
It's not.
Is it technically?
No, it's not.
But shouldn't it have been his place with 3 items or less compared to the 20 items?
Because let me tell you something, Honcho, and I can explain this with a situation that I had really recently, and it's always at the motherfucking truck stop. There was a truck that was parked in front of me. I couldn't get through the line because he was blocking me. I done got my fuel. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. There wasn't a truck in front of me, so I pulled straight through in front of the damn pump where somebody can get in behind me. I needed to go in and get a receipt because the truck stop I was at previously, the receipt machine wasn't working, and I didn't feel like waiting in the long ass line to get a cashier to give me one. I know I could have just went to another one and printed it out. So I go in, get out my truck, go in, press the little numbers, get the receipt, and come back out. I wasn't in that store for 30 seconds. I get back in my truck, I close the door, I open the top compartment to slide my receipt in there, and somebody's knocking on my door. I roll the window down, what can I do for you? Can you move your truck? What? Yeah, I need to pull through here. Sir, I just pulled up to this spot. I didn't go in the store but for like 30 seconds. No, you've been here for long. And I said, you know what? The first time I run into this, people always make assumptions and shit. Even if you see somebody else doing wrong, it's not you putting yourself at risk. Okay? It's just plain and simple. It's not your place to worry about what somebody else is doing. If it's not affecting you or your time, because he spent more time dealing with this lady if he was in such a fucking hurry. He could have just got his groceries, went to the other line, which was clear, and left. He spent more time dealing with this lady than he did checking out. So obviously, he wasn't in that much of a rush. See, people just got this thing to where they just feel like they got to give somebody else a piece of their mind. And where I'm from, if you come at somebody wrong, and when somebody say with all due respect, is normally followed by something disrespectful. You get your ass whooped for saying something disrespectful. No matter who you is, especially if you a stranger. First of all, you don't know me like that. Second of all, you're not supposed to disrespect me no matter if I was wrong or right. You're not supposed to do it because you can approach me respectfully. So when you say with all due respect, that means you intended on being disrespectful after that phrase. Now, he did say he called out her names or whatever, and whatever was said, I'm going to throw all that in the wash. All the comments that she said, he said, with the racist shit, I don't really give a fuck about that. I really don't. But he had multiple opportunities to go about his way and mind his motherfucking business. And he chose not to. When your ass do nosy shit to the wrong people, you get fucked up. Okay. Mind your motherfucking business. Okay. And lady, go to the right fucking aisle. It's that simple. Both of their ass was wrong. I don't think anybody is a victim in this fucking case. Neither one of them.
Okay. But
she
now,
was dead ass wrong. He was dead ass wrong at multiple times.
Now here's where I can agree with you, and this is where this is where I think it becomes an issue though. Now, say all of that did happen, because you can throw a lot of hypotheticals there. We can throw the hypothetical in there about, well, maybe the cashier told her to come there. But again,
I threw that one hypothetical in just to excuse her from it.
But what I'm saying is, I'm gonna throw one in there too. Okay. Now. Okay. You know women just like I know women, and if you haven't seen any of the videos, have you? Pertaining to this situation, have you seen any of the videos that pertaining to this situation?
No, that's why I asked you to explain it.
Okay. Well, if you get a chance, I would like you to watch that first one. Her name is Erica Thomas, and it's a Facebook Live video. You'll see her face is all in the screen. Now, you know when it comes to certain women and accountability. Yeah, we kind of know how that gets handled. I personally feel.
I said it in the chat.
Yeah, and that's what I say.
Women don't want to be held accountable for shit, and other women will defend them.
Yeah. And
that's what she's wrong, and that's what they wrong. And so I plain up said that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
is, he could have let the shit go. It wasn't that big a deal.
But now here's
for him to have to leave the store, go outside, put his shit up, turn back around, and go back in the store. For what?
But what I'm saying is,
expect to be the outcome?
What if he's trying to prevent this from happening in the future? And what if the lines were not just necessarily clear when he went, but after waiting behind her for a certain amount of time, then maybe another line cleared up? Because there was no saying that both lines were just everything was clear.
Honcho.
You
specifically said, and I'm going by what you told me.
Okay.
He was in the line. He saw she had a bunch of shit. He looked over. He saw there was another open lane. He went over and he checked out.
So. All right, let's take everybody else out of this, and I'm gonna get to the point there. Like I said, because all the in-store stuff is what it is. Like I said, I think it all should have stayed in store, but we'll get to it in a second. So, you personally, if you have 3 or 4 items in the store, you know you're only going in there to grab a couple of things real quick. Where's your mind? Where are you headed when you get ready to check out?
I'm probably going for the self-checkout.
Okay. I don't know about Publix if they have self-checkout.
If it's available. And if it's not available, then yeah, I'll go for the 10 items or less shit.
Okay.
But I'm the type of nigga, I don't think about what the person got in front of me. If I see there's a person at this register, the person at that register is open, I don't even think to count that shit. I just go to the open register so I can get the fuck on. I don't care about her and what she got, what's in her stomach, and who bust the nut, and what her job is. I don't care about none of that.
Okay.
I care about me getting my shit and get the fuck on because I mind my business.
Okay.
A lot of these people nowadays, they feel like they have quote-unquote authority to put other people in their place when you don't, because that shit can get you fucked up. You fuck around and catch the wrong person at the wrong time on the wrong day, it's going to be a hard lesson for you to learn. Okay. People need to mind their fucking business.
But on the same token,
victimless crime.
So at the same token, though, does being pregnant give her privilege?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Because like I said,
I'm not excusing her, not one iota. But what she fucked up was that one thing. He fucked up multiple times.
Okay.
He could have just went on about his fucking business, and he chose not to.
Okay.
He chose to keep coming back because he felt that he had some authority to say something to her. when he doesn't. He's a fucking customer, just like the fuck she is. They in the same damn boat.
Okay.
Well, if she's guilty of something, it needs to be taken up with the company. They need to discipline her, ma'am. You cannot come in this aisle. You need to go over there. So if they don't tell her nothing, he shouldn't say shit.
But what if they
It's
told
just
him?
that fucking simple.
But they told him he had the authority to say something.
No, say that again.
They said they told him that because he complained to it about to the people I guess in the store. They told him that they can't say anything, but he can. So in that sense, they gave him.
Of course he can. And that's the whole thing. Who is really in the position of any kind of authority in this situation? It's those fucking workers, because they can tell that lady that she cannot check out in this aisle. He has zero authority. So if they can't do it, what made him think he could? No matter what he does, nothing changes. She still gets her shit. She still checks out in the same fucking lane at the same fucking register. Nothing changes except that the fact that he feels he has authority to tell her some shit that he don't have.
Okay. So now this is where we get to where the story actually, in my opinion, where the story actually matters, because I think it should have been neutralized. They both had their parts to play. I think if one thing doesn't happen, none of the rest of it happens. Now you go and you run and get on Facebook Live, and you tell a biased story. Now, not saying that certain things didn't happen, not saying that certain things didn't take place, but it was not 100% factual. And you try to basically out this man as something that he may or may not be, but then once you really see what he's all about, because the internet, they're going to dig up all your history, they're going to do all this. But yet you try to use the phrasing, because we know the hot thing has been that Trump said he told the congressman to go back to where they came from. So you use that same reference that has been a hot button thing. You're a politician, so it's been a hot button thing. And you claim that this man said this when he didn't say that, to generate attention for your situation. Now, was that right or wrong?
Now, look, I'm going to be 100 with you here, Honcho. I can't say either way because I honestly don't know what's said, and neither do you. But I will admit that it seems like a stretch. It does. It just sounds all too convenient that he would use that phrase. But at the same time, everybody watches the same news channel. So if he saw that and he felt that way and agreed with it, would he not be prone to use it himself?
People say
I don't know. That was kind of both ways.
Yeah.
It just depends on what side of the fence you feel like you fall on. So I really don't care about that part.
But the thing is that people have been saying they've been digging this stuff up, that he's a super liberal, so he's not a Trump supporter in any form or fashion. They say that he's a Trump hater. Actually, they've been digging up all his social medias, all this stuff. So do you think that he would use the same phrasing?
He might not like Trump, but shit, I don't like the motherfucker either. But sometimes I agree with some of the shit he say.
Okay. This is what I want you to do for me, Jay.
There's a lot of people I don't like, but sometimes they speak facts. What the fuck I look like arguing a fact? Or I may tend to feel the same way that they do about certain things.
This is what I want you to do for me, Jay. This is what I really want you to do, because I think if you see it with your own eyes, you may feel, because I think you're a very observant person, and there's some things that I feel like I may not have covered vocally. If you get a chance, I want you to, and if you can catch them in order, I think it helps. Because I was talking to my old lady about it. She was feeling one way, and I showed them to her backwards, and she thought it was hilarious. But if you catch it in order, catch out her Erica Thomas Facebook Live, then I think his name is something Sparks. Something Sparks. I got it in the thing. Something Sparks. He might be Eric Sparks or something. His name might be Eric. Her name might be Erica. But it's like SPARKES. And catch their interview, and then catch what she says after that, because the tone changed, and the way that her tone changed from the emotion and the way she was speaking initially to how it was after. They basically had to join him because she was right there. I mean, standing literally beside him as everything he was saying. And if you see the way the energy changed, it just makes you look at it and you're like, something has been kind of fabricated. So I think
but at the same time, you got to have a little common sense about it. Of course, if you just not fresh out of the moment, your feelings is gonna be like your reaction gonna be different. You're gonna speak differently once you calm down. That's pretty easily explained.
Yeah, I mean, no, I understand it, but I think...
And I don't need to see the video because I understand the circumstances that led up to that shit. Everything that happened outside the store was shenanigans, tomfoolery. That's just how I'm looking at it on both their parts. It's what happened inside the store to me that matters the most. The root of the fucking problem. If he would have just went about his way, none of this shit would have happened. If he didn't feel he had authority, he wouldn't have said shit. He would have shut his fucking mouth and went on about his business, which is what he should have did in the first place.
Okay.
Not exempting her from wrongdoing, because yeah, she was wrong. Period.
Okay. So does the narrative, does the outcome of this situation change had the store been busy at this time, and none of these other lanes were being available? Does that change the narrative of the store? Does that change the outcome? Does that change the reasoning behind what he did in any form or fashion?
I look at it like this: if he didn't say it, then whatever happens with her, she gets what she gets. If he did say it, then whatever happened with him, he get what he get. That's how I look at it. Because he didn't have to do it. He could have let it alone.
Interesting. All right,
it's just that simple.
That's a bit.
Mind your fucking business.
I don't know, man. I think it depends on the circumstances.
The only caveat I will say is if that was the only motherfucking register that was open, and he had to sit there, and if I had to wait, yeah, I would have counted that shit too. Like, goddamn, how much shit she got? I would have said that to myself, but I probably wouldn't have said nothing out loud. Look, if the lady checking her out ain't telling her shit, who the fuck am I? That's how I look at it. Who the fuck am I? Again, I don't feel like I have the authority on another motherfucker. I just don't. Unless they tangibly do something directly to me.
Like,
then yeah, you about to get the full onslaught.
Like fuck up a chalupa?
Say what?
Say like fuck up a chalupa?
I couldn't hear you. Say that again?
I said like fucking up a chalupa.
Absolutely. But I didn't even give them people the business. I was still nice and polite because I understand these motherfuckers is fixing my food. They can do all kind of fuck shit. So I'm not supposed to upset them people, bro. I have to humble myself, even though I was aggravated.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't have no authority over them people either. I don't understand why people want to upset people like that. I just don't get it.
Okay.
And y'all think I'm just the most emotional, crazy ass motherfucker on the mic. I'm cool as fuck. I stay calm in damn near all situations. Unless I feel like it's warranted for me to go full auto. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it is.
Okay.
But anyway, I hope I resolve this situation so you can chill and get your octaves in your voice dialed down.
I'm fine.
And Miss Meat can go sit her ass down.
I'm still waiting for the Plex, man. Look, I'm posted up. You know when that nigga call talk shit up, they gonna pull up on it. I'm posted on the corner. I'm waiting for the Plex.
Nah, fuck that, cuz. I'm the 50 Cent in the den. Everybody got to beef with me.
I didn't put an address on that shit. So I'm waiting for her to pull up, man. We got to handle this.
Well, all right. I'm going to let her do so. I'm going to go on back up on out of here and lay my ass down. So I'm going to holler at you, Honcho.
All right, that's a better Professor Trill, man. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Prepaid, man up. Peace.
Already. Already. Here's my deal. It's an express lane for a reason. What's the motherfucking deal? Who got calling into the den this evening?
Tell them who it is.
I don't know who this is. It could be anybody.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's Miss Meat, aka Miss Meat 37. So first of all, I was gonna speak on the issue, but I'm not now. This is
what? Oh,
this is what I'm gonna speak on. Prepaid. First of all, what the fuck is wrong with nappy head? Okay, don't see. That's what I'm saying. You black and you calling us nappy head. See, that's the type of shit. That's why we as women, as black women, don't get no respect. You calling us nappy head. Okay, but what the fuck is wrong with nappy head? Second of all, you talking about you'll kick that bitch in the back. First of all, you heard she say she was pregnant. That's domestic violence, fool. Why you even have to bring this shit up? Like, we talking about some motherfucking groceries. You talking about kicking a bitch in the back? You call her nappy head? That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, Prepaid. And I hope your ass is listening. You should never, ever, ever suggest putting your motherfucking hands on a woman, especially a pregnant woman. Okay? So that's why my whole tone changed. I don't even give a fuck. Y'all can think what y'all want about that girl. Hey, it's here or there, regardless. But you talking about nappy heads and kicking that bitch in the back if she got 20 items for groceries? Because she's pregnant? The fuck? What kind of fucking example is you supposed to be set? Huh? Huh? What the fuck kind of example is that? I'm dead ass serious now. Like, what the fuck kind of example is that? Let her be in front of me, have 20 items, and I'm standing there, I kick that bitch in the back. Really? Wow. She's like nappy headed ass down. And you know how we get called nappy headed? And we get called monkeys and coons and all type of shit? Cool. You disagree with what she did. I'm cool with it. I don't care about people disagreeing. I don't care. But when you start talking reckless about black women, man, fuck you. Point blank. I'm gonna listen. That's all I got to say.
So you don't feel like that was just hyperbolic language? She bad. She dug up all the. Hey, look, I'm mad because I wanted to argue about some shit. You know what I'm saying? You changed the whole tone and shit. I'm disappointed. I'm mad now. I'm mad. Oh man, y'all mess with this. Y'all can't tell me no nothing about no disagreeing and agreeing. Y'all know, like I already told y'all how I rock. So I wouldn't be able to sit here and say, oh yeah, all that, knowing I only rock with a particular type of preference. So let's stop the nonsense. Y'all trying to create these false narratives. What's the motherfucker dude who we got called into the den this evening?
Well, damn, man, she just went off, man. It's your boy, Rami.
Yeah, I wanted to fight. She ain't want to flex. That was like she ran up and just stole me and just mashed off on me. I ain't even get to fight back.
Ooh, man, she's ready for the heat, man. She said, fuck you, nigga. I said, dang. Man, well, I'll say this, man. Prepaid, I wasn't in the den if he did. If he did say that, man, I don't agree. I really don't think you should say that, but I ain't about to go off, man, because some people just entitled to their opinion. Now, if he was some super off-the-wall shit, I might have came on here and said something. I might not agree with what he said, because, I mean, that's not really the best of words there. It's his opinion, right? That's not the topic of opinion, you know? Talking about this issue, man. Oh, shit, man. I think both of them look like fucking idiots, Honcho. I think both of them want attention. I think, number one, well, the dude said he was Italian, right? No, Cuban.
Dude,
the Cuban dude.
No, you racist. What's wrong with you, man? Cubans and Italians, they all the same kind of people. That's the same kind of people.
I forgot, bro. I forgot. I don't hear that, Honcho.
Yes.
Well, the Cuban dude, even his first time, him going to talk to the news about this situation, just shows the attention he wants, man. Like, well, what is this? He's not newsworthy. It's two people arguing.
So I got a question for you, though. But how is it him wanting? Is it really him wanting attention, or him wanting to clear his name before, the situation gets out of hand? Because we know the day and age of social media. Obviously, he's a Twitter user. So
he fucked himself over by going back in. Why would you go? Let me tell you something, Honcho.
But do you think that
when you're in the store and you get something, I've had many times with my family, or just myself, that something irritate me a person. I'm like, man, what's this person? Rude ass cashiers, rude ass grocery baggers. But you know what? As soon as I walk out that store, I'm done. They got to keep working in that store, and my day in there is done. I'm going to my car. I'm going to the car, riding off, going home or wherever else I need to be. So your irritation about her doing that, what's the point, man? That, in my opinion, getting attention. Even you still thinking about that afterwards makes no fucking sense.
Okay, but how is that getting attention if he's addressing the issue with one person?
If the cashier can't do nothing about it, what can you do, man?
But my thing is, how is he seeking attention if he's addressing an issue with one person?
Oh my God, Honcho.
Now, I think
I was about to say how both of them is craving attention. Her ass didn't need to go on goddamn Facebook Live, man. Now, like I said with this, is everything she's saying probably true? Probably not, man. And you got to, if she really is pregnant, emotion does run high, bro. I had my cousin was pregnant. She was the same fucking way. Everything, she got mad at the tiniest things, man. It happens when they're on hormones. It just does. Okay? So, she looks like she has her symptoms. But look, dude, I think both of them are stupid, man. Because what's the point? It's not a big of an issue. Okay? They said it was 10, and how many hours? They said 15, right? 15 or 20?
it was supposed to. It's supposed to be. He said she had 20. She said she had 15. And it's supposed to be 10 items or less. Either way, it was over the
Oh.
Dilly Dally.
Well, the thing is, look, she is wrong for doing that. I'm not denying that because, come on, girls. You know you got more. Look, if you got one more item, they say you can only bring like 10 or 9, and let's say it's 10, you got 11. That ain't no big fucking deal. One more. But you adding 5 more, something like that, nah. The thing is, that's the issue. But this is what he fucked up, right? If they were letting her or they was bagging and they would scan the groceries for her, and they had no problem with doing it, and you got a little irritated, if there's open lines with less people or no people, go to that line. Don't cause no fucking issue because that has no problem. Even if you have a problem with that, man, fucking ignore that because it's nothing to cause a big dispute about. Even him talking to the people, what is your point to talking to the people? What is the people going to fix that problem? If they already told you, nah, we can't do nothing about that. Like I said, as soon as your ass walk out that motherfucking store, it's done. It's no point in you even being irritated about this situation because your part is done. And what I mean, he is dumb by going back in and say, well, what did he say? You said, and this is no disrespect, Jay doesn't say this. Anytime somebody said it, no offense. Anytime most people say no offense, it's something offensive, bro. It's something to piss you off. Come on, man. It never fails. And you saying that, and then at that time with her saying that, in a way she has a right to go off because you coming at me when you already walked out the motherfucking store. I mean, who wouldn't be irritated? Who wouldn't be like, who are you? Like, I don't know you. You know what I mean? So in a way, I'll give her credit on there what she did. But like I said, I do believe she made up probably about him saying go back to where you came from. Because yes, I'll give you that credit, Honcho. She is a lawmaker. That has been hot in the news with the 4 Justice Democrats and the AOC. That's been hot right now. So I'll give you credit on that. But like I say, even him just going to the news and saying all this shit, bro, like I said, what's the point?
But is that not
what's
a chain
the point?
of events
Even her being irritated about the situation to go on Facebook Live to make it a worse situation.
So
look,
but
you had to dispute with a man.
What element of it had the biggest escalation of the situation, in your opinion?
Wait, repeat that question, Hunter.
So of everything that took place in this story, what part of this created the biggest escalation of the situation, in your opinion?
What created the biggest escalation, in my opinion, is him going back in. It's him going back in. Now, do I think, yes, she started wrong by going into a line with more items? Yes. But you know what? Him going, even you can even maybe say him talking to the people, that could have caused something. But look, some people are just nosy and concerned. Like I said, after you walk out, my dude, you are done. What makes you think, you know what, I'm irritated. No, I'm going to go back in. What? All this could have not even happened. She did not have to. She would have went on Facebook. You would not have to talk to the news. Both of y'all would not have to be looking stupid on the news. And this wouldn't be a headline story right now on all social media platforms. Him going back in there, he makes the dumbass of the day. Because why? What is your point? Yeah, I don't care. If you're concerned, who cares? She ain't going to... It's 10 out of 10 possibility her ass ain't going to be in the store the next time you go in. So him going back in to cause this big rift, man, I think he's in the wrong more. And I'm not saying that because she's black, because she's done a lot of shit I think was wrong. But her, I do think lying about the words she says, yeah, I think that's wrong. Even her going on Facebook and shit saying, I think that's wrong. But him going back in there, I think that satisfies him, man. He was in the wrong because it was no point. But I know you're going to dispute, Honcho, because you always disagree. So what you got to say, man?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, no, I would say that. I look at it like this: that I could agree that him going back and saying something could be. You could say that's the further escalation of a situation. But is he wrong for calling out a wrong behavior?
Who cares, Honcho? It's done.
But what I'm
It's
saying,
done after you leave.
okay, but so here's the deal: if you spit on somebody, the spit is gone, it's just on them, and you walk off, and somebody says, "Hey, man, you shouldn't have done that." Does that still change the fact that you spit on somebody, or is it? Do you try to correct somebody to prevent them from doing it in the future? So all I'm saying is that whether or not it's done,
Honcho, she's one woman. If people are going to be doing that, as many people as walk in that store is going to do that same
but
thing.
does
Man,
that
he
make
can't
it
stop
right?
everybody.
But does that make it right? If you see it happening, if you don't see
No,
everybody,
I'm
doing it,
I'm not saying
then
it
you
makes
can't
it
address
right, man. But in a way, that's not his job. It's the managers and the clerks and people who work there who should get on her ass and say, "You can't do that." These are the main people that need to be blamed. The thing is, he just makes it worse, and he's trying to put himself in the line of authority as a customer. Your customer, your job is to get your ass in that store and buy as much as you can and pay for it and get your ass out. That's your job as a customer. Your job is not to criticize somebody else for what they're doing, especially when you could have went to another line and got your shit and left. He looks stupid.
Okay, so I got another question for you. So you pull up in a cashier's line, you start unloading your groceries. They start scanning them, right? Do you think cashiers count how many items you have in your basket or whatever before you pull up?
Honcho, it's always a look. 20 items looks way more than fucking 9 or 10. You can tell how many items is in the damn thing.
All I'm saying is, do you think they really looking in the bag? It depends. Well, so if you put the basket at the back of, say, I don't know how Publix designed, I don't know what they got, but if you put the basket, say, at the back of the conveyor belt, do you think that cashier can see all the way over there, as opposed to putting it on the side of a conveyor belt? Do you think that items can be
why are you trying to defend this dude, man? You are really preaching out here, bro.
No, I don't even care about the dude now. I'm talking about the cashier because you said it's on the cashier and the management to make sure that she doesn't get in the aisle, right? So I'm trying to prove another point. Would it not be more expeditious if you've already started scanning her items and you realize that she has too many? Then it just makes more sense to go ahead and finish scanning the items instead of saying, "Oh no, I see you got too many. Let's cancel this order. Let me move you to another line and do all that." So that's why I'm saying I'm not necessarily putting it on the cashiers and all that because it's their job to get it in and get it out. Their job is to make sure the customer's always right, quote unquote, whatever it may be. You as a person know before you walk into a line, I got too many fucking items, but I'm gonna go into this line anyway because I feel entitled for whatever reason that I feel like I should be in this line. Even though I know I have too many. Now, does that give the person the right to say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't have done this, that, and the third"? I think it depends if the situation was different. Depending, like I say, other lines were open, he found other lines, whatever it may be, what it is. But at the same time, if a person feels a certain way, especially in this lovely country that we call America, if you feel a certain way, should you have to suppress the way you feel because of other people's emotions? Do you feel that's a yes or no?
Let me tell you, Honcho, in this situation, you just got to tough the shit out. It's a lot of things in life you're not going to like, and it's not going to go your motherfucking way. Let me tell you something like this.
But can you not speak on those things?
He should have just went in the line because it's not a big deal. If she would have assaulted him, or she would have did something, if a fight would have broke out, or something physical would have happened, okay, I get it. Or someone would have been said as sexually racist, or something like that, I understand him being pissed off. But with an issue like this, well, if you're in a rush or you just don't feel like sitting in a long line, it's those items, look, go in another line. And then, ask me this, Honcho, I don't even know this too. Who was in the line first, her or him?
Obviously, she had to be in the line first because he was behind her. Because if he'd had his 3 things,
you can automatically see how many items she's pinning the thing out. She's pinning items on the conveyor belt. You can see, dude, if you think it's too much, move. Just move. That's all you gotta do. And you out of there.
This rhetoric baffles me, because you're the right person with the right amount of items in the right line. You should move because somebody else went over the limit. That sounds crazy. Now, I'm not saying that. Now, the smart thing is if you are on a time restraint, you want your own convenience, you have to take those matters into your own hand. Yes, move. But if, I won't say the writing on the wall, but if it says, hey, this is an express lane, there are expectations, unwritten rules in life. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. If you see somebody, I think you use that same argument against you because you say, well, if you see that the person in front of you just has too many items, why don't you just move? If you see a sign that says you have too many items, why do you go on that line?
So some people are dumb. Some people don't think. Okay. And we use this again. If she really is pregnant, you know how pregnant people think in a different way. Okay, she could have said, you know what, fuck it, I got just a couple items, they might let me pass. Okay, she is wrong for that. I 100% agree. Her ass should have went to another line. That's wrong. But like I say, when it comes to him, if you have a problem with it, dude, don't cause no issue, especially if you try to say something to a black woman as, as you're not a person of color, man. I mean, you know what I mean. You're not. You get. I'm just saying. If him saying that, he should know that's going to cause an issue. Okay, she's a black woman that says she's pregnant, dude. Don't go up to her, man. Go on the other line. You see, you only have 3 hours.
I'm gonna keep it all the way.
Make it quick.
In any other situation, now, like I said, I would handle this differently, but I'm not giving no broad because you black, pink, purple, whatever it is, you pregnant or whatever. Like I say, it's not my kid. Again, if it's my situation, guess what? There's going to be bias because if it was somebody, we going to handle it different. I'm going to take it. I believe in taking every advantage that you have in life. So like I said, if it was a situation involving somebody I love and care about, yeah, it's going to get handled differently and I'm going to impose my will. But because if somebody ain't caring about you, it's not my problem. Look, I'm not gonna let you handle me any kind of way because you made decisions that have absolutely nothing to fuck to do with me. Like I have no control. So if I'm not saying that
I get it, but it's also about keeping your reputation intact and making yourself look good.
She's the politician. That's just a regular citizen.
Stupid. You just look stupid when you have 3 items. Okay, you complain over 3 items. You don't look smart.
What looks stupid is when you go into
you don't even look good when you walk out the store and then you come back and say, I have a problem with that. What? Dude, forget about you. You don't look smart. I don't care about, this is my feelings. Dude, it's the store. It's the store. Who cares? I mean, I don't know. Somebody in the chat agree with me. I just feel like this is not a big deal. Both of them is stupid. I just think he was more wrong for going back in and causing more issues for this to be a headline.
No, it's all foolishness, but I enjoy the petty nature of it, and it allows you to see things within people when you have these conversations that are really trivial, but there's certain elements of it that if you stick on them long enough, you'll learn certain things about certain people's opinions, and so that's why I'm enjoying this topic. But in reality, it's not moving the needle anywhere. It's 2 people who are really on the same side of the politics, and it's just foolishness. But I think there is some bias. I think there's some assumptions, and the reason why we're having this conversation is because we're making assumptions about somebody based on race, sex, and all this stuff. And in reality, this person has the exact same beliefs as you because that's ultimately what happened. But she tried to play it like this guy was this big racist and they probably labeled him as a conservative and all this stuff when he turns out to be some ultra liberal dude who's smaller than she is and just all this other shit that's going on. And so all I'm doing is pointing out, yes, this whole thing is trivial. If it came down to a scrap, she'd beat his ass. But the way the media, the way politicians, all the people play shit to stir up people's emotions. This is what it's all about. Like I honestly don't give a shit because it has no.
I get what you mean right there about the bias. It is. I can agree with that. But I'll tell you this: you don't want to make yourself on social media look dumb. Okay, of course you're probably gonna make up a little bit of a story to make yourself look credible, to make yourself look like you're in the right, even though you know you're in the wrong. You lie a little bit. Politicians do it all the time. Celebrities do it all the time. You gotta make yourself look good because if you sometimes the truth hurts, and you don't want to make the truth come out and look stupid. Just saying. Think about it. It happens. So look, Honcho, I'm about to get off this line because we'll be arguing for like 20 years. Thanks for taking my call. I know some people want to get in, man.
No, really, I appreciate your call, Roman.
Man, anytime.
No, really. I truly, honestly feel that if these roles were reversed, that we'd be having a different conversation this evening. Whether it be because of the sex of the person. Had it been a pregnant woman with 3 items behind a man who had more than whatever, I think that we'd be having a completely different discussion this evening. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening? Damn, the line is on fire. God damn.
Hi, guys.
What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in tonight? Yes, who we got calling in tonight?
Pie God.
No, Pie Guy. What's the motherfucking deal, Pie Guy? Man, what kind of pie? Apple pie?
Yeah.
You.
It's all pause and no pause, man. It's all pause and no pause.
Okay. All right, I'm with it. What's on your mind there, Park? How you feeling this evening, man?
Man, a lot of people were saying the guy made himself look like an idiot. During whatever the interview, he was talking calmly, and the politician was not. They were very upset, so I don't understand how the guy was an idiot. Went off on it, and she also said that he did not say, she took back what she said, that he did not say that you need to go back to where you came from. I don't know if a lot of people keep saying that, and she has said that she doesn't know what she said, what he said, and she said that he did not say, because that's the whole thing. That it's a seeming like a Jesse Smollett hoax, because that's when the Trump thing happened, and they're saying, oh, conveniently during this is the week when Trump said, oh, to the squad, go back to where you came from. Then she brings up this. It's all convenient, and I just came in here today, just popped in. I pop in here randomly. Sometimes I don't say anything.
No.
It's just like it's crazy. Like, she said he was a white guy. The guy's Cuban. They're both Democrats. The guy's a Trump hater. He does not like Trump. So you both agree on politics. And like, so she went to Instagram, and she got on Instagram because social media are these people's daddies and shit like that. So she got on Instagram as a politician and just was crying on Instagram and all this stuff. And the guy just went on his merry way. Then he came back to defend himself. So I don't understand how he's in the wrong.
No. And that's my whole thing. Like, had the situation been what it is, yes, it's a stupid situation, but it should have been left there. If nobody was physically assaulted, it should have been left in the Publix. It should have been what it was, and that's it. But then she went and made it seem like, this is why I find fault with her. She's a politician, so you have a following. You've already been out there on a bunch of abortion rights. You already got a bunch of people who follow you for a certain reason. And so you push this agenda like it was this big racist altercation. It was the KKK. They jumped out of a truck and somebody kicked me in the head. They stole my groceries. And they just made it seem like it was this big deal the way she was crying, like it was just this super traumatic event. And then it turns out you see the guy. You're like, this little puny, you call him, he ain't no bigger than Bagel Boss, you know, and you making this big deal about it. And it turns out that he's not this guy that you try to paint him and make him seem. It's a completely different situation.
Yeah. And it's just like, first of all, she was in the wrong. She was in the wrong lane or whatever and all that stuff. He said he went out. He came back. He asked the cashier, could they do anything about it? They said no, that he can't. Because when he was speaking about the situation and talking about what had happened, and he was speaking calmly, and he was saying you can go back and watch the cameras and see what happened. And no one's talking about this to prove his statement of what he said. He said we could go watch the footage. So why aren't we watching the footage or pulling the footage? And I guess it's not that serious, or like on a police case or something like that. They're not gonna pull the footage for this. Such a small event, but the guy's he's open to saying, "Hey, let's pull the footage and see what happens."
Yeah. So obviously he knows that he doesn't feel like he's in the wrong. And again, like I said, the situation should have been what it was. If he spoke his piece, she spoke her piece. But I think once you take it to social media and you invite the world into it, then it becomes what it is. And then I think, honestly, she feels a particular kind of way about it because of how everything transgressed. And now she's I don't think she expected, him to come forth. I don't think she expected him to follow up and, go and see the footage and everything else. I think he kind of did his due diligence for his part. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I won't say he's social media savvy, but we've seen how these things play out so many times that I guess he did some see why he covered his own ass to make sure before he said anything that, he wasn't as in the wrong as he was perceived to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. She shouldn't have blown this out of when there was no physical altercation. She should have just went on with her merry way. She had to go on social media because social media has daddy and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know why it had to escalate this far over that. It just went on in a merry way, but since they were a politician and they thought, well, this is gonna help whatever movement, and the racism is alive and well. So I guess.
And so I agree. All right. Well, Pagat, I appreciate you calling and sharing. Anything else you'd like to add to it?
All right.
Appreciate it. Shout out to the podcast. All pie, no pie. Shout out to my guy podcast. This is a very interesting story. Why was the too many? We gonna come back to it. See, Miss Me, you supposed to argue with me on the phone about this, but you ain't want to argue. You changed the subject. I was ready to argue. You need to call back in. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up? It's John from New York.
John,
how you been?
My favorite New Yorker, John. What's the motherfucking deal, man? I've been all right. How you, John? How you feeling tonight, man?
Oh man, the phone lines are on fire tonight.
Yeah, they active tonight, man.
So we got Jussie Smollett's sister over here tonight. I watched all the videos. I watched the video of her crying. I watched the video of where she had the interview in the parking lot and the guy showed up. I watched the video of her backtracking. I mean, everybody who's calling. First of all, the lady who called in a few calls earlier and said, "Oh, you especially don't say something to a black woman." I don't give a fuck what fucking race the person is, what gender, if they're pregnant or not, what religion they are. You say the same fucking thing you want to say, regardless of all that bullshit. If you think somebody's wrong, you say what you want to say. If you think someone's right, don't say what you got to say. But a lot of callers are calling in and talking about, oh, was he wrong or was she wrong for saying something or having more than 10 items? Who gives a fuck? I mean, it's petty shit. The real issue is the fact that she tried to lie about saying, oh, he said, go back to my country, that he's a racist white man. Because she's trying to ride that fucking gravy train where Trump told Ilhan Omar to go back to fucking where she came from. So she's trying to ride that fucking gravy train because she's a legislator out of Georgia. She's trying to further her career, and she got called out. I mean, I've never seen somebody cry for 4 straight minutes on a video and not shed one actual tear out of her eyeball. Never seen that in my life. I mean, she had the driest eyes. Who's that guy that does the dry eyes commercial with the real monotone voice? Like
Ben Stein.
Bill Stein.
Ben Stein, I think.
Yo, she needs some eye drops and bites, something, because she had the driest eyes I've ever seen in my life. She did not cry one drop. So, I mean, and then in that video, he told me to go back to where I came from. But then, in 2 videos later, she's like, well, I don't know. He didn't exactly say that. I wasn't sure what he said. He said something along the lines of going back somewhere. I'm like, come on, man. If somebody said that to you, you're going to remember what he said.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? Someone said, go back to your country. You're going to remember that because it's been all over the headlines for the past couple of days. And as a black woman having that said to you by a white man, you're going to remember that. So don't tell me now all of a sudden, I can't remember. It seems like she did it all for political gain. And that Cuban guy was way too confident. He's like, I checked the videotape. We can go check it right now. I spoke to the store manager. His name was John. He verified everything. I spoke to Sheriff so-and-so. I just spoke with the police. They're not looking for me. He just kept spinning. Let's see your receipt. Yo, you didn't have 10. Let me see your receipt. I know you had 17 items. Let me see your receipt. He was too quick and confident and calm. And he's the one who went to her little, meeting with the media. Okay. He went out and looked for her. He went to the fucking parking lot. So if that guy was guilty, I'm assuming he probably wouldn't want to show his face. Mm-hmm. If he knew there was video out there, and especially after he just saw it, he wouldn't go there and show his face like that. He'd probably hide, hope nobody finds him. He made his Facebook profile public. It shows, messages from like a week or 2 ago. Tell Donald Trump he needs to go back to his country, which is racist Germany, because he's a Nazi. Talking about how his grandmother didn't speak any English back in the 60s when she was raising him, and people used to make fun of him and her because they didn't speak English, and he hates bigotry and racism. He put up posts that he stands with the 4 congresswomen. I mean, the guy has a track record. He's like, I'm a Democrat. I voted for this lady that claims I told her to go back to her country because he live in the same district. So he voted for her. He's a Democrat. He says he identifies as Cuban, whatever. He's got posts. So, I mean, and the fact that this woman, and she, you know what? Forgive me, she's fucking ghetto. Because I was watching that fucking video, and she starts clapping her hands in his face.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what fucking...
No,
what's that?
Not the claps. She did the claps. I missed that, but I must not have seen the whole video. I didn't see the claps. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it's like if you type in Erica Thomas in YouTube, it's the first video that comes up. But the video is 15 minutes and 25 seconds long. Right around the 8 minute and like 20-second part, she starts clapping her hands in his face, and I'm like, wow, this grown woman who's a legislator is clapping her hands in this guy's face like some fucking ratchet ass bitch from the projects. Get the fuck out of here! And she starts talking about I'm blessed. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, you know what? 2 seconds ago, you were talking about how you were, devastated and crying. Now all of a sudden you're fucking preaching, and she's like, and she changed her story in the first 4 minute video where she's giving those fake cries on the whatever social media app that was on. She was talking about she went there because she was teaching her daughter how to check out the groceries. But then in another video, she said, oh, well, the reason why I went there was because I'm pregnant and I can't stand on my feet for too long. But yet this bitch had all the fucking energy to burn during that press conference for 15 straight minutes, fucking running back and forth, clapping her hands, talking this, raising her hand to the sky, saying, praise Jesus. Get the fuck out of here. She's lying. So whether he was wrong for saying something to her, whether she was wrong for having more than 10 items, it's all petty shit. The real issue is that she tried to use a fake claim of racism to further her career, further divide the country, and just fuck with people during a very hostile time in this country. That's the real issue.
That's tough. I gotta go back and watch that. That's tough, man. Yeah, but I agree, and that's kind of where I'm getting. Like, regardless, like I said, the situation, whatever it was, it should have stayed in the grocery store. Whether he was wrong for approach, whatever she was right. But when you take it to social media, knowing the climate in this day and age, and how people are automatically going to respond, and once you use those buzzwords, those trigger words, and then you being a politician, especially in a hotbed like Georgia or whatever you want to call it, you already know what the response is going to get. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You should know better. And then when you start having to recant everything immediately, because there's holes in the story and things just don't seem right, I think that's an issue, man. Because again, like I said, to me, that takes away from real situations that involve racist actions that are racist problems. But we said everything's racist, or this is racist, or that's racist, or it gets to a point where it becomes numb. You get tired of hearing the word, like you stop paying attention. And again, like I say, just looking at it for myself as a black man, looking, I'm like, man, this shit is fake. Those crocodile tears they let me know from the jump. I was like, man, nah, that's not it. This is not a situation. This is an attention-seeking situation, and she's trying to find a way to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, because during that 15-minute video I watched, she was in his face like, tell me that you didn't say, tell me to go back to my country. And he's like, I didn't say it. But then the third video, which has her kind of saying, I'm not sure what he said. He didn't exactly say that. He might have said something. She was wearing the same shirt, so the video was taken the same day. So how could you go from being so extremely confident, saying, I know you told me to go back to my country, and then, an hour later, you're like, I'm not sure what he said. He might have said this. He might have not. I was like, come on, man. Like, you're not going to forget something like that so quickly. And you're right. I mean, situations like this, the thing with Jussie Smollett, I mean, it does put a stain on, when real situations happen, people don't really believe it, or they feel too confident to say it's a lie. When real things happen, I mean, because there's instances where, like, a white woman will kill her kids and then blame it on some black guy, some random black guy fucking killed my kids. So, I mean, it goes both ways, and that's why, with something as sensitive as racism, you really shouldn't fucking joke around with it. And I think that's the real point here. The important part is, forget about whether she had 10 items or not. It's why would you prop up something that you can't even verify, 100%, and more importantly, it's something that you're already changing your story within an hour. Come on, man. And I believe the guy because he was like, I saw the video, we can go watch the video now. The police aren't looking for me. I already spoke to them. I came here myself. I volunteered to come here. I spoke to the manager. I think the manager's name was John. He was like, let me see your receipt. I know your receipt. He was too confident to call her out, and she was just like changing the topic every time he would interrupt her. And then, she turned around and she's like, you're not white. He's like, yeah, I'm Cuban. He's like, you're not white. Could you imagine if that was a man standing there in a dress saying I'm a woman, and she turned around and said, no, you're not a woman, you're a man? The liberals would have lost their shit. But yet somehow, It's just a fucking joke. But yeah, the callers that called in, I think a lot of people focusing on whether it was wrong of him to say something to her because she had one. Who cares? I mean, it's petty shit. I wouldn't say something to someone who has more. I mean, I've been in that position where someone's been in front of me and they had a lot more than the maximum items required for the express lane. But I don't say anything to them. You know what I mean? It's like it's petty shit. I'm either gonna wait or I'm just gonna leave and look for a different line.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he wants to say something, he's entitled to say it. Now he might get his ass chewed out, he might get beat up because of it. But you know what? That's his consequences. He wants to take the risk, he can take it. And if she wants to step on that line with 110 items, because she can read, she sees the sign, she can look down her cart, she sees she's got 110 items. She wants to take the risk of doing that and getting yelled or beat up or whatever by somebody. Take that fucking risk. It's on you. But I mean, the sign does say 10 items or less. So technically, she saw something that says, I can't do this, and still did it. He took more of like his own liberty to say something. And the employee that works there said, well, we're not allowed to say anything, but you can. Is a fucking idiot. What is it, fucking fight club? You're going to let the fucking customer just duke it out?
It might make the
you just say, look, it's... just say, look, it's corporate policy. We're not allowed to say anything. I'm sorry, sir. I understand you're upset. I really apologize. And that's it. Don't fucking tell him, go ahead, say what you want to her. Yeah. That was stupid of them, too. But, what you call it? I don't know. You got any questions?
No, man. I think you came and you clarified any misconceptions. I got to go watch. Like, I didn't see the long thing. I think the one I saw was a couple of minutes. I didn't see the whole 15 minutes. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
It's sad and funny at the same time. They're just going back and forth, and he's like, look, he goes, the police aren't looking for me. I came here. he's like, I got a phone call from my friend who said that I'm all over social media, some kind of Trump supporting white redneck racist. He's like, so I came right over here. So if you're guilty, you really, and and I think most people know that the majority of places these days have cameras. So for him to go there and then verify it's a camera and then say he already saw the film and still show up in the parking lot right next to where she's doing it, I mean, I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think I have to too. Because again, and that's why I say I know people say, well, he didn't have to do that. Yeah, I mean, you got to defend your name. Because if you don't, like I say, social media will take your shit and they'll run wild with it and they'll drag your name.
Wait a minute, because forget about social media dragging you. If he doesn't say anything and then the story runs as being true, he could lose his job. His fucking family might leave him. He might get beat up everywhere he goes because everyone thinks he's a racist. Everyone thinks he's a Trump supporter. I mean, that literally, people could threaten his life. That literally could be devastating for anyone. So, I mean, no, I would have done the same thing if I was him, especially if he felt he was in the right and he had all that evidence, like the video, and told her to produce her receipt to prove that she's lying in multiple ways. And he said in the video, which he was willing to watch with her, she stepped towards him. He didn't step towards her. Mm-hmm. So, and in the video, the 15-minute video, she gets in his face. She walks over to him and towers over him and gets in his face and puts her hands in his face. So it's just like, give me a damn break. And I know somebody was giving one of your callers, I think it's a friend of yours that calls in, was giving him shit for saying, oh, that's why, women get a bad rap because black guys talk shit about women. The reality is, if a woman gets a bad name, it's because of what she does, not because of what someone else says she does. So, I mean, men can tell me everything they want horrible about women, but I'm not going to change my opinion on women based on what guys tell me. I'm going to change my opinion on based on what I see and hear women actually doing. So that whole bullshit is not true. But anyway, that's all I got to say for you.
Man. John, another amazing call, man. I love when John calls. Tell you, that's my favorite New Yorker right there, because the other people who claim to be from New York in here, they don't even want to call in. They just want to steal my pistachios. But I appreciate it, John, man. And thank you for calling in, man.
No problem. Have a good night, man.
All right, you too. Appreciate it. Wow. I'm waiting. Now, here's my thing. The clapping, that is... You expect that from certain people. That is unacceptable for a politician. Wow, we had like 3 calls at once, and then it disappeared. If you're supposed to be a representation of certain shit, and somebody saw somebody say Pelosi did it, yeah, Pelosi trash too if she did. Hold on, I think the den line is tripping. I see people trying to call in, but it's doing that. Give me a second. I see y'all trying to call in, and the den line is on fire. Give me a second. Let me have to reboot it. Don't Look, come on, Bixby, don't be saying my government name. I see y'all trying to call in, but it's doing that little bullshit. Give me just a second. Let me reboot the line, and we'll be all fine. Y'all got the line on fire tonight. Yeah, John killed it. But all I'm saying is this, man, and this is not about labeling or nothing. It's not about putting anything on anybody in a general sense. This is about her making an accusation that ended up not being true, but trying to use leverage of some of the shit that's been going on around the country. I'm still doing that. I see y'all really trying to get in. Give me just a second, players. I'm rebooting, restructuring the line. I guess I gotta wait till the whole shit reset. Let me make sure. Because it be tripping sometime. I see y'all. We may stay a little bit over, because I know we got a lot of calls coming in. I'm trying to get, hold on, give me a second. Hopefully. Hold on 1 second, let me change the mic. Hopefully everything is acting like it needs to. Still doing that house shit, huh? Hold on 1 second, hold on. Why you acting like this on me, then line? Don't do your boy like that. We got hot fire supposed to be coming in. Let me see if it's taking calls. Let me see. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Honcho, this prepaid.
Already prepaid. What's on your mind, man?
John, utmost respect to you, player. I appreciate that. Now let's get to it. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody in the den know exactly why the employee told him he could say something to her, but they couldn't. When you have a line that says 10 items or less, and a customer comes there with 15 or 20 items, they know they're not supposed to be in this line. Do you know why they still ring you up? Because as soon as they were told the lady that they can't ring up, you know what she just said? First and foremost, I'm pregnant, and I can't stand on my feet. Da, da, da. And guess what? You got a lawsuit on your hands. That's exactly what it is. But y'all act like y'all too scared to come out and say it, what's really going on with the situation. That's why he told her, boy, you could say something about this, about what was going down or whatever. Now, Miss Me, let's get to some things real quick. No, let me back up a little bit. Y'all are creating hypotheticals that literally didn't happen that day. Well, what if the employee told her to come on and get in line? They didn't. Well, what if he said that it happened? None of that stuff y'all trying to create didn't happen. This is not a right or wrong for him. She was in the wrong. He had a right to tell her she was in the wrong. With anything else in this world, that's how shit works. If you ain't in the wrong, he wouldn't have said nothing to you. That didn't make him racist. He didn't racially profile her. Roman, he don't have to avoid her because she's black and pregnant. She was black and pregnant before she got there. No, they don't. Just because you black and pregnant, nobody. Oh, you're not a part of a protected group. Period. She knew she was in the wrong when she went into the line. Period. That's the whole problem with y'all. Y'all trying to make it seem like you okaying what she did. Well, I mean, it's only 5 items more. Listen, if it's expressing, why the fuck they created? If you can have 11 items and it's 10 items or less line, why the fuck did you create it? Don't just change the express line. Hey, this is the line for whatever. It's the whatever line. They just call it that. Then whatever goes down that motherfucker. Now, Miss Me, let me help y'all with something, baby. I watched all 3 videos. I can already tell from the way you was cutting up that you didn't watch the videos. I watched them. I said she was nappy-headed because she got a fucking nappy head. When you watch the Facebook Live video, if you tell me that's some good-ass hair or her hair looked like it was kept well, then you tell me right now and I apologize to you. But you can't. How that look? A motherfucker got a nappy head, but I can't say they got a nappy head? You were here talking some white men can call black women ghetto. If she being ghetto, he can. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? It's 2019. Everybody got freedom of speech. Her head nappy. Deal with it. If you don't get mad at me, you in Georgia, go tell Kemah shit. Tell her fix her motherfucking hair. You up here getting mad at me. It ain't my fault. Tell her to fix her hair. Then you talking some, oh, it's domestic violence. You talking about kicking a woman. How's it domestic violence? I don't know that woman. She don't belong to me. I said and I stand by it. If it was me and her in the store and doing all that, I'd either go knock her items out of her, kick in my ass. Get your ass another line. I don't owe her nothing. But she black and pregnant. Well, that's her decision. You being black and pregnant got nothing to bring your big old ass over here and get in this express lane, knowing I got only 5 items. Deal with it. Deal with it. She made a conscious decision to get her ass in that lane, knowing she was in the wrong. Now, Honcho, I'm going to leave you with this. Because Trill said he wouldn't bother people who do stuff like that. I'm the complete opposite. I went to Walmart 2 days ago. It's hot than a motherfucker. And y'all know Walmart parking lot be full of cars. Man. I parked way off because there was no parking spots closed. I parked way off. I seen a dude, probably 5 to 10 years younger than me, park in a handicap spot. As I was walking up, I looked at his car. He had no handicap sticker. He got out of the car. I said, excuse me, man, you in a handicap spot? He goes, yeah, I know. I said, well, you don't have no handicap sticker. He goes, yeah, I know. I'm finna run into the store. I said, not up in that store you're not finna run into. He goes, excuse me. I said, you heard what I said. Move your car to a regular parking spot. Now, let me tell y'all the reason why I did that. First and foremost, there's handicapped people who need that spot. Second of all, if I can walk my black ass away from other spots and follow the rules, your black ass can too. And so the first thing he said was, shit, ain't nobody gonna make me. I said, shit, you ain't finna go up in this store. Point blank period. You ain't finna go up in this store. I done walk across the parking lot and sweat my motherfucking ass off. You gonna sweat like I sweat. So all this y'all trying to point the finger and all, ain't no finger point, man. Y'all all getting away from the root of the story. It didn't matter about him confronting her. He had a right to confront her. There's no crime in that. She went on Facebook Live and lied on this man for political gain. In the climate that's going on in America, she went there for a political gain. That's what y'all got to get away. Stop getting away from the facts. Stop trying to, well, I mean, shit, he shouldn't have said nothing to her. Yes, he should have. He had every right to say something to her. He had every right to say something to her. And for anybody who keep doing this whole black man should be standing for black women, no, we shouldn't. Because let me tell you what I stand for. Right versus wrong. Black people are the most disenfranchised people in America. Do you know how many times a black man has been described as doing a crime he didn't commit? You know how many times a black man has been falsely accused of a crime? You know how many times a black man has been arrested for something he didn't do? You know how many black men are in prison right now for crimes they didn't do? So why the fuck am I going to sit up here and stand by a black woman lying on somebody else and knowing she wrong? I'm not standing for that. I'm not standing for that. Because the same way you can lie on that little Cuban man and lie about what he said, it could be a white woman lying and said a black man did something, we'd be right there in jail. So no, I don't stand for that. I don't stand for that. And Miss Meat, it's not even assault unless I actually kick her. Saying I would kick her and me kicking her are two different things. It's not domestic violence because I don't fucking know her. She ain't my old lady. So while you calling up here getting all emotional, I'm in the house cooking my black queen of grilled cheese. I don't care about you getting mad and emotional. I don't give a fuck. My grandfather told me as a kid, shit, the more you cry, the less you pee. I don't give a shit.
Steal that.
Her head nappy, so I called her nappy head. I don't give a shit. If you don't like it, send her some hair care products and tell her to comb her shit. You got any questions for me, Honcho?
Man, no, I think that's all I got. I gotta use that though.
Now, Miss Meat. now, Miss Meat, me and you been good. And I'm gonna love you like a kissing cousin. We gonna be good tomorrow all over again. Her head's still napping. She still lied. And I ain't changing shit by what I said. Be blessed, mama.
Already. Shout out to Prepaid. Man, y'all been hold on. Y'all been active tonight. The line is on hot fire. 5 best rappers of all time. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's going on, Honcho? My bad. Once more again. Let me turn my TV down. This is your boy, Man Up here.
Already, Man Up. What's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind this evening, Man Up?
Man, you know what? I want to talk about 3 things.
Okay.
3 things.
All right.
One, the first thing I'm going to talk about the topic.
Okay.
No matter what nobody has to say, y'all all know that woman was in the wrong because she started it. It does not matter if she's pregnant. She started it. Yeah, pregnant women do have crazy hormones. I know. I deal with that. Duh, my wife. I had my daughter. I have 2 kids, so I've been through that. I know. But that doesn't give you the right to do anything stupid. That's just how it goes. Give you a story of what I'm talking about. A few months ago, a couple lived right across the street from me got into an argument. I don't know what they was arguing about. I know he walked out of his house and said, big fuck you, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever. Right? She gets mad, drop a suitcase. I don't know if it's his or not, but drop a suitcase out the window onto his van and crushed his front windshield. He gets mad, go back in the house. All I hear is, "I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant." That don't give you no goddamn excuse to drop a damn suitcase and crush the man's windshield of his vehicle. So just because you're pregnant.
I agree.
So my whole point in saying all that is, just because the woman was pregnant doesn't mean anything. Everybody keeps saying it, and it's 100% true. She started it by going into a line. Now, right, he didn't have to say anything. That's his business. If he wanted to or not. His business. He decided to say something. We all had that happen to us before, get pissed off that somebody's in an express line knowing damn well they shouldn't be. I can tell you that happened to me before. I told y'all before, my very first job was at Fiesta, the one in Fifth Ward, right off of Lowndes Avenue, on the other side of them train tracks. If I'm not mistaken, the cross street is called Shotwell. I think that's the cross street. I might be wrong, but I know it's right off of Lowndes Avenue in Fifth Ward. When I became a goddamn cashier, they used to do that shit all the time. 10 items or less. All the time. Why do you think a lot of these stores raised that express line from 10 items to 15 items? Because people kept doing that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People kept doing that. So they changed it. And then you got some stores that went up to 20. And people still go over that. So come on, y'all. Y'all know that shit. Y'all know that shit. Come on now. It happened to y'all. And the dude just called in prepaid, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Prepaid, he gave a good example. You know what I'm saying? Somebody parking a handicap spot, and you ain't lying shit. If I can walk my ass down, a long way, your ass can too. You ain't no better than me. I agree with that.
That's right.
Second thing, excuse me. Second thing I want to talk about is this here. I remember one time before I called in. Well, it was a while back. Before I would continue, I want to say, what's going on, Miss White? How you doing? I see you. That's my new Miss White is my new best friend. Nah, but anyway. What I was going to say? God damn. Oh, I was going to talk about, I called in a few months ago because you were doing a show and people kept talking about, you were talking about interracial relationships, and they were talking about, and one lady that called in talking about we get with this woman because of racism and all that stuff. See, this is one thing that I just hate that my people do, and I said it so much. We're quick to throw a race card when there's no reason to throw one. There's no reason. If you feel offended about what this man did, just say that. Just say that. You see what I'm saying? Just say, hey, I feel like he shouldn't have said nothing to me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know I was in this line, but the cashier didn't say nothing. That's it. You ain't got to throw race into it. And then I do believe what everybody keeps saying, that he didn't really tell her to go back. Because if you did, you definitely would have called out on that. I know I would have. But you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the, excuse me, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this here. Yeah, he might have been wrong for going back into the store, but we all know it all started by her getting into that line with more items than what should have been. You already know you starting trouble by doing that. Don't make no excuses because the woman is pregnant. There ain't nothing but a freaking excuse for you to get away with something you should not be doing. That's all it is. Because if that's the case, hell, men go through a whole bunch of shit in life, and we can use that as an excuse for every damn thing. So what I'm saying? And the one call that called in, prepaid, my bad, he just said it. I was just going to say that myself. I wouldn't believe nothing that you say either, because shit, people just throw out so many narratives these days. You can't believe nothing nobody says. Not even your own damn kids sometimes. Not even your own wife or husband or your own mom or daddy. You can't believe nothing nobody say these days because there's so much going on in the world that people say stuff behind your back but won't say it to your face. You see what I'm saying? So the only thing that I'm saying is this here. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is, excuse me, I'm sorry. All I'm saying is this here. We as the black people need to stop throwing that race card around. The one caller said it, and they said it best. Because I've been trying to call in, but they said it before me. One day, when it's really going to happen to you, nobody's going to listen. You're going to cry wolf. We all heard that story about the boy who cried wolf. That's going to end up happening. And then what you going to say or do? Well, won't nobody believe me? Well, it's because you lied about it before. You lied about it. So ain't nobody going to believe you. I try to teach my daughter that. If you lie one time, I'm not going to believe you when you're really telling the truth. Then you're going to be mad. No matter how big or small it is, tell the truth. No matter how much it might hurt or might be hard to, you tell the truth. That's just what it is in the story. Now, I went on to my second thing and didn't even say second, but that was my second thing about we need to stop throwing a race car around. Third thing I'm gonna bring up, because I'm gonna kind of change subject a little bit. Did you know that Brian Banks is having a movie coming out?
I'm not gonna watch it. I heard about it, but I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I kind of want to watch it to get his full story. I mean, I know we all heard about Brian Banks and what happened with him, but I kind of want to see what's going on with that. But I kind of want to see it. But that's all I wanted to say, man. Is that my main thing from this is that she threw a race card out there, and I think that we as black people need to stop doing that shit. Because when somebody else another nationality throw a race card out there, then we're gonna be, oh no, they just saying that blah blah blah. Then when you do it, then you're gonna get mad if it's blown back in your face. So all I'm saying is this here: we as black people need to stop with the racism. Stop acting like that just because you black, people owe you something. Don't nobody owe you shit in this world. My mama always told me, nobody owe you nothing. Nobody has to do anything for you. And if you're growing up in life, you see that. Nobody has to do anything on this earth for you. Not even your own damn parents have to do anything for you. The law says, shit, you got to have something to eat and drink. Shit, as long as your parents got a goddamn loaf of bread and some running water out the faucet, you got something to eat and drink.
Straight up.
So all I'm saying is, it just cut out all that damn, he told me to go back to Africa. Even if the motherfucker did tell you to go back to Africa, you know you ain't never been there, so what the fuck you getting mad for?
Straight up.
If he did say that, let's just say he did. Let's just say he did. If he did tell you that, and you know you ain't from Africa, he want to be ignorant, let the motherfucker be ignorant. You ain't going to change his mind by you going off on him. You're not going to change his mind. So what's the fucking point of you going off on him? Like I said, I'm saying we know he didn't, but I'm just throwing out the if part. You're not gonna change the man's mind. So what the fuck? No. You know this is an ignorant motherfucker, walk off. No. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all the story that shit happened to me before. I just looked at him like he's stupid and just walked the fuck off, laughed at it in his face and walked off. Didn't do nothing. I ain't gonna tell you that story again, but I'm pretty sure you remember, Honcho, what I'm talking about. Yeah. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. So at the end of the day, that's what really got me, is the fact that my own people keep doing that and think that it's cool. It's like you're using all this stuff as a crutch to try to go for your own personal gain. It's like you want to use that as to come up in the world instead of working your ass off to come up like everybody else does. You see what I'm saying? So, but I know that everybody's saying she's a politician, and that, to me, in my eyes, that makes it worse.
Yeah, I agree. And that's
that makes it worse. You already know that you're a politician and you're black, there's 2 strikes on you right there automatically. You making it hard on yourself. You know what I'm saying? I told this to somebody in the den before, but a while back. Being black is not hard. We make it hard on ourselves. And that's a prime example right there about being just that damn ignorant and stupid. We make it hard on ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I ain't going to ride on too much longer, but at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this here. She was wrong for starting it, and he might have been wrong as well. I ain't going to say might have, but he probably just as equal wrong as to leaving out the store and come back in and saying something to her. However you want to put that, it's your business, but it would never started if she wouldn't have been in that line with more than the items that was requested for that line. Like I said, think about it in the past, especially us old heads like myself. When we used to go to the express line, it used to be 10 items. Yeah. Then they changed it to 15. Some now has 20 because people keep doing that stuff. And you know damn well, everybody in this damn chat, and they're gonna be watching the show later. Everybody knows that you was behind somebody that had more items than expected, than it should be, and you got frustrated. Whether you said something or not, probably a different story, but you know you got frustrated. Everybody have.
Straight up.
Everybody have.
I do it quite often.
And like I said, I used to work at a grocery store, my very first job ever. And I used to see people do that. Come my express line, it was 10 items at that time. Come my express line was goddamn 30 items. And I would say, ma'am, I'm sorry, but this item, I'll point to the sign, this item is on 10 hours late. I know, but I'm in a hurry. I got to do my job, though. I let them know, but I had to do my job. Check, ring them up. At least I let them know. And then also, too, like I said, we all been on the other side of that. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this. Here. Would this altercation would have ever started if she had the right amount of items in that line? No, it would not. So, in the story, that's it. But I do agree with what Trill said. I don't know why I'm calling him Trill right now, but I gotta fuck with him. I'm just joking with him. I gotta fuck with him. But I don't know. I do agree with Jay Dizzle though. You know, it is petty, it is dumb, but we all know we all been there, and we've all done it our damn self before too. So everybody act like like it's like he the man was wrong. We all done it ourselves too. It's like, shit, we all walked in the damn 10 items left line with 12, 13 items. Yeah, We've all done it.
Yeah, I've done that shit a time or two. But I be over it. I might be, I'm going to be one, because I be like, I don't want to be no hoe. I don't want to be that old hoe ass nigga. I be like, how many I got? What, I got 11? Fuck them then. Fuck it. We finna make it shake. Oh, my bad. I miscounted. I be on small hoe. Nah, fuck that. We finna get these 11. It depends on how bad the other lines are, though.
Now, I will admit, I have asked a few times before, hey, I got a little bit more than what's required for this. Can I come through? And it's been a couple times people told me no, and I said, okay. And I just go to another one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on. So this man did have a right to say something. And he didn't go crazy on her either. And I seen the video that Prepaid was talking about. I seen the video. That woman was acting ghetto. And yes, I don't give a damn. Just like Kevin Durant, her hair was nappy. Just like Kevin Durant's hair. So if we can all talk about Kevin Durant, if we all can talk about Kevin Durant as a man hair being nappy, why we can't say a woman's hair is nappy?
Oh, it's fucked up.
Now, so if you get mad because you call a nappy-headed woman nappy head when you're nappy, it's just like calling a fat person fat when they're fat. That woman hair was total fuck up. Let's just be real. Just like we all talk about KD need to comb that nappy piece of head that shit. Like my grandma used to say, boy, you got a number of buckshots in your head. Comb that shit. Come on now. And you talking about you a politician? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, all I'm gonna say is this here, and then I'm gonna end it. It would have never started. She didn't have all that shit in her line. That's all I gotta say. And I'm done. I'll holler at you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, bye.
Already. Man. I'm Team BBW. What you talking about? Like, go BBWs. Proportions. You can be big, beautiful woman doesn't mean. Sometimes these words get stretched out, if you know what I mean. Oh, we got some calls. Cool. Let me see. The dilly dally doing the dilly dangy. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening? What? Hello?
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 Oh, yeah, what's up, Honcho?
Nigga, what the fuck? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
man, it's Kenneth, man. How you doing today, Honcho?
I'm doing well, Kenneth. You know, Kenneth, I'm still disappointed. I'm not going to say why, but you know, right now, me and you,
It's a joke, my guy.
You got to understand there's levels to jokes, and I guess it's things that are funny to y'all generation. This is why we say the stuff we say about y'all. There's certain jokes that just ain't jokes, and certain jokes are. I ain't gonna say too much. I ain't gonna put you out there like that, but Next time you got a joke like that, keep it to yourself. All right.
All right, my nigga. I got you.
Okay.
But look, man, bro, I think I lost a couple of brain cells when Roman done caught into this whole, my nigga. This nigga was all over the place, my nigga. You had a decent car for about 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of the car, this nigga was talking nothing but pandering nonsense, my God. You supposed to be the savior of the young niggas up in the damn, my nigga. You caught in with that foo-foo shit. That's tough. You know what I'm saying? But look, check this out. None of this gets started if you just go to the white lane. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? The world does not care if you're pregnant, my nigga. That's not how the world works. You know what I'm saying? That's how it may work inside of your neighborhood, but that's not how the world works. Just because you're going through something does not mean that the world is supposed to pander to what you have, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's like an athlete going to fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's an athlete trying to buy some cleats, and you just over there. Let's say that you at fucking whatever the hell that store is. You know what I'm saying? Sporting goods or whatever. Let's say that you at that store. Someone is ahead, someone is behind you, and someone is behind you, and all of a sudden they just skip you and they tell you, man, I'm an athlete, man. I just need to get these cleats real quick. You know what I'm saying? And because I got to go to the game or whatever. Are you gonna let them skip you just because they're an athlete? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the logic that some of y'all are giving me. You know what I'm saying? Even though you may just want to buy a T-shirt from that store, are you gonna let them skip you because they gotta buy all these other shit just because they're an athlete? That's exactly that's the same logic that y'all are using right now with this woman shit, my nigga. Cut it out, dog, because y'all know damn well y'all would not let this happen if it was you in that situation, my nigga. You are not, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just giving a broad example or whatever, but just because you're pregnant does not give you any extra rights to anything, my nigga. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? Can she fucking read? Obviously, she's a politician, so I'm pretty fucking sure she can read correctly. You know what I'm saying? It clearly says 10 items or less, my guy. 10 fucking items. How hard is it for you to comprehend that if you have 11 items, you're not supposed to be in here? Is it petty for someone to say, yes, it's petty. But you know what I'm saying? It's not their fault that you got your bum ass got caught with your hand inside of the cookie jar, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I know what people done it before, yes. Like I said, it's a petty for someone to say something, yes. But are they justified for saying something? Absolutely, my nigga. It says 10 fucking products. 10. If you come in here with 12, are you wrong for doing it? Yes. If you come in there with 10 and a half products, you know what I'm saying? Are you wrong?
10 and a half? What the fuck?
No,
Is it a discount? Is it a clearance can that got dents in it? Like, what is this half, my nigga?
I'm just being extra, man. But y'all know what I'm saying, man. If you come in there with more than 10, you're in the wrong. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? You can't try to twist the shit any other way. You can't try to twist the shit in any other circumstance. You come there with more than 10 items, and you got your ass caught. It's that simple. Stop trying to make it seem like it's anything else. And even if you could forget all of the situation, you tried to twist it and tried to make it seem like it was racist, and when it clearly wasn't. You know what I'm saying? You tried to leech off of social media. She's not a parasite, bro. She just came in there and tried to milk the fuck out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? She's almost like a new Justice Mullet. You know what I'm saying? She tried to come here and try to fake racism and shit. That shit was so corny, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, my nigga, like, she just something else, my God. Like, that's a 5'8" power forward, my nigga. She's 5'8", 265, the way she looks, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? She built like a glass cleaner off inside 2K, my nigga. She's a fucking center on inside the 2K, my nigga.
Yeah, but
you know
she could post you up though. So I mean, I'm just saying though. So what you really bring to the table, you know? I done seen your football footwork. I don't even want to see what you looking like in the post, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you got nothing. She already got the Rodman hair. She gonna outdo you. She gonna do you bad, man. You might as well not even go for it. She gonna shit on you on them offensive boards. You got no chance, my nigga. You got no chance. You might as well call it a wrap. You got a horse at your house or something?
She probably gonna back me up in the post with that big ass frame she got, my nigga. God,
just saying, man.
She big as hell.
You gonna learn how to handle that one day when you become a grown man. You'll learn how to handle that boy. You don't know nothing about that.
Don't nobody want to handle that, my nigga. She's a plate cleaner, Honcho. Don't nobody want that, my guy. That's tough. That's a plate cleaner, Honcho. She literally cleans the bro. Have you seen the way she's built, my nigga? Come on, God. Come on, man. I probably done pissed a lot of the females off inside the chat, but I still don't give a fuck. Y'all niggas don't do nothing for me.
When your name show up in the chat, you piss all the females off. That's all it takes. You out of there.
But yeah, man. She was in the wrong, you know what I'm saying? Stop trying to pander to her. No one cares that she's black and pregnant, my nigga. That has literally nothing to do with anything, Roman. Don't ever, bro. You way smarter than that, my nigga. You are way smarter than that, my guy.
So
that shit was just over the top, my nigga. But that's all I want to say, Honcho. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to pander to 5'8" glass cleaners, my nigga.
Man, all I'm saying is hot girl summer, man. Already. Dude, Kenneth is a fucking character. You know what I'm saying?
I made it in.
Yes, ma'am. Who we got calling into the
Hey, it's Studio City, baby. Robin, I actually made it in. Damn.
Yeah, I've been seeing you trying to get active. How you feeling in Studio City? How you feeling tonight?
Good. But damn, it was hard to get in tonight. Oh my gosh! So let me get straight into it. First of all, with this lady, it's not even about what happened in the line. You know, we wouldn't even know about any of this if she wouldn't have posted it herself.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Nobody would even know about this if she hadn't have Twittered it.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
And then you got, you know, and she went after her own, too. She didn't even know. Because she wasn't, you know, she's such a fool. She's just looking at this guy with his skin and assumes he's somebody who's what he's not, and it's one of her own. You gotta be kidding me. Come on, lady. And then to take it politically, you know, plus, she could have handled it. She could have been taking the opportunity to set a good example. You're in line. Hey, look, I've gotten in line with more than 10 items before, and I, you know, and somebody's come behind me, and I apologize, and I even offer to move or go in front of me. You know, there could have been a different way to handle it. Plus, you know, we don't know what the dude's day was like. He might have been having a shitty day. He might have just got fired. He might. Do you know what I mean? That just might have been his last straw.
What was that? Falling Down, like that movie where like that movie Falling Down, where old buddy went crazy. Who was that?
Wait, what movie? What movie?
Do you remember that movie Falling Down? I think it came out like in the 90s, mid to early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Who was that? Michael Douglas, I think it was. Well, like he lost his job. He just basically like snapped. He was just going through the city doing a bunch of crazy shit because just everything.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't know what somebody, you know. This is a person who's in state Congress, so you're a representative, and you're supposed to, you know. Yeah, you're pregnant, and hey, if I see a pregnant lady or somebody older or somebody with a cane or somebody, I'm gonna offer to let them go ahead of me, even if they're in front of me. And they turned around and said, hey, oh my gosh, I've got too many items. I can move out the way. I'd be like, no, don't worry about it. Plus, she's got her 9-year-old kid with her. So you're really setting a great example, lady. You know, shit, for all the way around, you know? And you know, it's like, the other thing is if that story were to, if that guy wouldn't have shown up and defended himself and said who he was, that story could have run for a long time that it was some little white frickin' Trump-loving Republican Nazi who, and do you know what I mean? That could have ran for a long time, and that could have caused more division. We're already divided enough from all this crap. You know, I don't remember being so divided 10 years ago. You know, I don't remember being divided even 3 years ago, and everything is like a race bait, and this lady you know, she specifically said this guy told her to go back where you came from. It's like, okay, so you were going for some political gain here, and then the fact that this guy's a Democrat and called another Democrat out, that's the thing. That like he totally, he could have kept his mouth shut and said nothing. No. But instead he said, wait a minute. No, bitch. Bam. Do you know what I mean? You know, fuck, here, we don't have to do anything. They'll eat themselves. No. Do you know what I mean? People like that, it's, you know, it's too much. It's pretty funny. You know, it's horrible, actually. And that's where she's what, a representative in Georgia?
Yes, she stayed rep in Georgia.
Yeah, that's just too bad. I mean, and hey, you look, pregnant women, yeah, we're hormonal and stuff like that, and we might bark back, but, you know, to like I said, none of us would know any of this if she wouldn't have Twittered it. No. and she twittered it on the aspect of it was somebody telling her to get out of the, go back where you came from. And it happens to be a Cuban Democrat.
Cuban Pete.
Then he just has a freaking Cuban, okay, so she sees some little white beady-eyed guy and just is like, ooh, here I go. And it turns out just because he's a white little beady-eyed guy, he's a freaking Cuban Democrat, lady. You just ate your own puppy. Anyway, that's all I gotta say.
That's super fun. Okay. Well, Miss Studio, I appreciate it. I know you was trying to get in for a minute. I seen you trying to get in.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying. A lot of other people are trying to call too. So I said my piece. It's a sad state of affairs we're in, people. We gotta make a change. That's every other day. All you hear is race this, race that, this, that, the other. I mean, I'm like, oh my God. So anyway. Everybody in the den be blessed. Thanks for taking my call on, too. I always appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Studio City. I appreciate your call.
Bye.
And the funny thing is, I think John called in earlier and said it, that he voted for her. And now, wouldn't that make it all even crazier? Like, if he voted for her and then had this altercation with her, that is craziness. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
I'm back, goddamn.
What's on your mind, babe?
Why is there so much reaching going on? Lord have mercy.
Well, what are we reaching for now? What's the reach that's happening now?
What you mean, what's the reach? Like, damn, look, she was wrong. And the ladies is trying to defend the fact that she's pregnant and he shouldn't have argued with her in the first place. Look. Partially, I agree with that. He could have just been the bigger person and went on about his business, which I clearly stated. But she was still wrong. So if he felt that way and he wanted to say something, that's his prerogative. But that don't make neither one of them more correct. Okay, but Honcho, I really wanted to ask you this. This is the main reason why I called. Because I didn't already spoke my piece on the situation.
Okay.
Your stance on the N-word.
Yeah.
Let's bring this back up.
Okay.
Let's just change the little situation a little bit because it's a little similar.
Okay.
Your reaction if somebody would have just called you a nigga. Would you have went outside and stewed on it, then came back in and confronted him?
No. That's going to be a process that's going to, that determination will be made quickly. Like I said, because my stance on the N-bomb, the word nigga, is the actions that go along with it. If you are moving forward aggressively, you seem to be posing an immediate threat as you are utilizing the vernacular, well, we have a situation to handle. If you saying some shit in retreat and not really, I'm just this old clown ass, pussy ass boy, I ain't worried about you. It's going to be a different approach to it, So it depends.
So let's just say, and keep his temperament because supposedly he was non-threatening when he approached it. Say for instance, he said something. Well, you know how you niggas do. Would you have still went outside, thought about it, got mad, and then came back in and confronted it?
Nah, I'd probably have some smart ass reply to go right back with it. We probably would have been going at it verbally for a little bit.
But you wouldn't have not said nothing. Went outside, thought about it, and then came back in. Would you have done that?
Nah, absolutely not.
Then how can you even try to defend this man?
Because this is what I look at. I look at it like this, right?
Just speaking to you, not nobody else. Because we all, I got my different opinion. Because I'm not gonna let you probably that shit. I would have stole off on you in the store. That's just me. But you and your stance.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't think I can apply my situation to that particular person's situation. With him being, like I say, super liberal, quote unquote woke, being a white guy.
No. That's got nothing to do with it.
Okay.
You don't know if he's liberal or not.
Okay.
He's just a person.
So am I supposed to be in his stance or am I supposed to be in the lady's stance in this situation? We're having this.
You are in the lady's stance because no. I'm sorry. You are in his stance because she is the one that's egregious. She did the first act. to crank this whole thing off. So him calling you a nigga is what started everything. But you have the choice whether to react or not. And you said many times before that you would choose not to react, especially if it wasn't just aggressively egregious.
Yeah. Now that's not saying that I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
Heidi, I can speak every one of these fucking words that are coming out of my mouth. Don't test me, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, like I say, now I'm not gonna react. I'm not gonna respond physically, but we will. It will probably be some verbal back and forth. I'm not gonna just let you get a freebie, you know. But as far as, and then if it escalates to something else, then you know it'll go wherever it goes. But as far as, you know, you just sitting, I'm not gonna steal off on you off the bat just because.
Right, but see, it's what you said. You would have said something right then and there, right?
Yeah.
So you saying that you wouldn't have went outside, thought about it, premeditated some shit, and then went back in. You would have just reacted, like any normal person would have.
But I think the situation is different than a situation that would institute a reaction, because it's like a situation when it's like, you know, with a reaction, if somebody does something immediate and you get a certain feeling. I think that's one of those things that kind of stews up a little bit. Like you get in line, you're like, God damn, I got 3 items. This motherfucker got 7, and so it starts to boil up. Like I don't think it's one of those things. When somebody does something just blatantly egregious, you're gonna immediately. It's like a natural thing. To me, I think it's one of that's why I said like falling down with old buddy, because you know as his day he started letting all that shit eat at him, and then it just overflowed. I think it was more than like he sat there and stewed on it, and even when he went to the other line, he's like, this motherfucker held up the line. I could have been, you know, whatever. And I think he let that shit boil up. So I don't think that it was the same type of feeling. That's why, like I said, it would have been no going out. If I had something to say right then, we're going to address the situation right then. So that's why I say I think he had to think about it, contemplate, because there was no initial interaction. The interaction didn't really start until, you know, he went and did some more processing, you know, and then came back in, and then, you know, they exchanged whatever words or whatever. So that's why I say I feel like it's a little bit different than something that would be an immediate reaction.
But wouldn't that be the same thing as if you saw a little one doing something, it pissed you off, then you left, went to the store, came back, and then jumped on her about some shit that she did?
I'm gonna say, but I wouldn't do it. If she was doing something unnecessary at that point in time, I'd have addressed it right then. But I mean, that's why I say it just, if she was like, it would have to be like.
That's what I find really odd about the situation. If he really felt some type of way, why didn't he say something immediately?
Because I think, honestly, this is what I say, in this climate, and y'all feel however y'all want to feel about it, I think people really are taking into account the optics of something. So him being a very tiny bagel ball sized white man and getting into an altercation or a verbal altercation with a black woman, people are going to perceive it some kind of way. And I'm not saying this is his thoughts, but I do think a lot of people, from hearing different calls and various topics and things that we've had, I think that people, if they are concerned with how other people feel, with him being a Democrat, and that's why I think it plays into account, him being a Democrat, left woke, with the POC and all that, care about everybody equal type shit. Now, if he'd have been a Republican, I think he would have probably went off right then and there and just be like, man, what the fuck? Because he's not thinking about that we are the world type shit. And so that's why I think that a lot of that, his mentality had some input into the way that he responded to the situation.
Now, at the same time, this is where what you just said makes totally no sense. Because if he was really thinking about optics, he wouldn't have went outside, gathered his thoughts, and then came to the conclusion that he did. He would have just left if he thought that could have possibly been a bad look. Why would you spend extra time contemplating the decision and then go in and make a bad decision after you thought about it? That's dumb.
I mean, I didn't say he was going to make the right decision.
Think. You had time to think and still fucked it up.
Yeah, like I said, I can't say he made the right decision. And again, but even with everything being everything, a couple of people made bad decisions into it, and my feelings are still, it should have stayed at Publix, and it should have never became public. Like we should not know about this story. And again, so what I think and again, like what some of those people said, my big issue is trying to use this for political gain, knowing what's going on.
That's precisely my point. See, that's what I'm trying to get to the root to. the reason why you're really upset is not the fact that he confronted her about what she did, it's what she tried to do to take advantage of the situation.
Yes. Yeah.
I get that, and I agree with you. But that's not the root of the problem.
Yeah.
The root of the problem is he shouldn't have never made this available to her. If he would have made the correct decision at least 3 turns where he had the opportunity to.
This is true. No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. No, when you look at the root of the problem, it was avoidable, it was nonsensical, and yes, it was extremely petty.
Yes.
But then, like I say, and that's where you said about as far as taking it from there. That's when I think it escalated. Into, like I say, there's interactions that take place like this across the country, thousands a day that we'll never ever hear about because they get left at the store, they get left at the register, or whatever the fuck is going on. But I think just all the pieces, her being in politics, her being in government, the pregnancy, the racial aspects of it, I think all of that just kind of played into what she thought would be a perfect storm to work out in her favor. And I think a lot of it ended up backfiring. And again, people who are going to root for it. It is what it is. Certain people, if you feel a certain way, you'll never change your opinion. But then, people who find out other aspects of the situation, they're like, oh, okay, this don't make sense. And this don't make sense. Okay, well, this ain't going to quite work out. Or they're going to look at it differently. I don't think it's going to impact her for better or for worse in the long run either way. If you was rooting with her, she might have lost one voter, him. That might be the only voter she lose. But outside of that, I don't think it's going to change too much in the overall grand scheme of things.
Because I also look at it like this, and you could frame this in a different way to really understand his terrible decision making. Let's just, put it in this situation. Let's say she cut him off in traffic. Okay, everybody know that that's dead wrong. You don't cut people off in traffic. No excusing that. So what he does is he gets road rage. He decides to follow her. She sees that he's following her. So she calls the police and tell him that he's chasing her. So the police come and pull him over. Now, the fact that he's chasing her, does that justify him doing that? Does it justify, the fact that she cut him off? Now, the police pulling him over at gunpoint, all this other shit, even though he wasn't initially in the wrong. But it's the decision he made because of her action have consequences. Now, I'm not saying that her false accusing or saying this shit was right. I'm not excusing that. But what I'm saying is it could have cost him dearly.
Yeah.
Was it really worth it? After all this shit, was it worth it?
No, in the long run, no. Absolutely not. But
no, but that's what I'm saying. We need to be smarter than that.
I agree.
You got to be smarter than that. She got to be smarter too.
But excuse me. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you can't sit up there and do that and then not be aware or privy to the possible consequences that could come your way. Because people could say anything nowadays.
Yeah.
And could fuck your whole life up.
But that's it. But if he wouldn't have came to represent himself, don't you think that's something that's quite a possibility that could have happened?
It just depends. He could have been one of them kind of people that just, he was really in his feelings and he wasn't going to be denied. Or he could have been another kind of person who just didn't give a fuck. Let her say what she want to say.
Okay,
what they going to do? What they're going to do? Was they going to arrest him for that shit?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So that's my thing. So you felt like even though it wasn't the best idea, he had full rights to say what he said.
Look, that's his prerogative. But at the same time, he got to understand those actions have consequences, possibly.
Okay.
And if he didn't go back to defend himself, he could have been seen in a negative light in the eye of the public. And that's not hard to be. That's not hard to do in this day and age. But what I'm saying is he could have avoided all that if he just went on about his business. It didn't hurt him. It didn't cost him anything. He just felt some type of way about somebody else breaking the rules. She didn't break a law. She broke a rule. There's a difference. So if he gets that pissed off at somebody breaking a rule, imagine what he would do if he saw somebody breaking the law.
You don't think he does? He probably do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And who gives him authority over people to punish them or to chastise them over breaking the rules? That's like if somebody see your kid doing something and they come over there and start talking to yo, look, you gonna say, hold up, bro. Who the fuck is you? That's precisely my point. Nobody gave you authority over nobody. Back your bitch ass up. Before I smack your bitch ass up. It's that simple. Because y'all know, everybody in the chat, anybody that's trying to defend this shit, y'all know damn well y'all not going to let nobody else talk to you or any one of yours that type of way. You're not going to do that. No matter what the fuck they did. Period. Only person get to tell them something is me.
Straight up. And the same thing, like I say, as far as, you know, because a lot of people I've seen say, oh, you know, y'all treating, you know, the women this way and everything. And I take offense to that. I'm offended by every woman who said that, because I think I've stated my affinity for black women especially, you know, multiple times. And to sit here and say, oh, y'all don't care about me. But here's what I am going to tell you. I'm not going to cake for everybody. I make no excuses for ignorant people. You know, when I do something ignorant, make no excuse for me. Every decision that I made that was piss poor, don't make any excuse for me. I knew what the fuck I was doing. I have to deal with those consequences. I'm not going to go out. If I'm not going to hold myself, if I'm not going to make excuses for myself, what sense does it make for me to give leeway to other people who are just as grown, have the same options, have the same opportunities, whatever it may be, because they chose to make bad decisions? Now, me and mine and people who are truly violated, I'm a root for you every time. I'm gonna go to bat for you. But when you go out and you fabricate a situation, now had it just been, you know, him kind of doing that, I might look at this situation much differently. But then again, I would have never heard of it. Now, but going and you know, making up a whole lie about everything that took place, and you know, for gain or whatever, you know, credibility, whatever you're trying to get, I can't defend that, right or wrong. I cannot defend that right or wrong shit, because when you defend somebody right or wrong and say that they're in the wrong really, but they get the right outcome, if you understand what I'm saying, then that encourages them to continue participating in the wrong behavior because they're gaining off of it, and I can't do that. Okay, like I said, now if it comes to a situation and we in the club and I'm with a bunch of my partners, or it's a date night, whatever the fuck it is, and say my old lady get to it or my partners get into it, and they the one that instigated and started, oh, we gonna roll your motherfucking ass and we gonna be in the wrong for it. That's just kind of how it's gonna go. We ain't gonna take them kind of L's. But when it comes to a situation that hasn't escalated that far and it's not that dramatic, or maybe post or hindsight, I'm saying, hey man, you know you was wrong for that shit, you know, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna keep encouraging bad behaviors or come to save people for bad behaviors, because then it just makes them think, well, I can just keep doing whatever and there's no consequences to it. Or, you know, I'm not about putting myself in bad situations for other people. You know what I'm saying? Period.
No, I agree, but that instance, if you in the club and one of your partners starts some shit with another nigga and then a bunch of other niggas jump in, you jump in, you gonna handle your business, you gonna hold your boy down, but as soon as you get out of there, you gonna jump dead on his ass. Like, look here, bitch ass nigga. You ain't finna have me fighting by 30, 40 niggas in this motherfucking club over you doing some hoe shit. You do this shit again, bro, you gonna be in this bitch by your goddamn self. I mean, I get that, Honcho, but at the same time, you still gonna squash that shit right then and there at the beginning. You gonna talk about it later, but you not finna just let nobody violate your people, you and yours. You're not finna do that. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that's
he did not have no right to do that.
But
none, and people, and that's the point I'm arguing. You don't have no right to do that.
I think he had the right to do it, but you have to deal with whatever consequences that come with that, because he didn't attack her, he didn't physically harm her, he didn't do anything of that nature. You have the right to do so, but you got to deal with what consequences come from that.
But people be getting this right shit fucked up. They think that they got rights and you really don't. Because your rights can be taken from you by a motherfucker who don't give a fuck about your rights.
Exactly.
Just like I'm saying, you had a right to call me a nigga all you want to. But I'm telling you, I will infringe upon your rights expeditiously. That's all I'm saying. Right to be damned will not stop you from getting this ass whooping. It's not. So don't feel like you have that moral high ground, because you don't.
Yeah, so like I say, you know, people gonna have the feelings they have. Tonight has been I didn't think that tonight would fuel up some of the conversation that it did. This has been one of the more active evenings on the line. And for a topic that honestly, there should have been a non-starter, should have been a non-issue. But it's very interesting to see all the points that
I agree. But hold on, Honcho,
Okay.
before you end.
All right, what you got?
I do need to address this too.
Okay.
Miss Meat. I love you like a play cousin. People have to stop being so sensitive about some of the words that some people use. And yes, I just said that. I know what I just said about the nigger word, but that's a whole nother argument. We was talking about whether this guy was in the right or the wrong. And just because Prepaid said something about her hair being nappy, which I still haven't seen the video, so I can't confirm nor deny the nappiness of her hair follicle. I can't confirm or deny it. But it doesn't make sense to try to take that position in the argument because that's not the argument. Whether her hair was nappy or not. That was an insignificant detail. So don't get hung up on the insignificant details. What I need you to do, Miss Meat, is just argue the point, which I was halfway agreeing with you. But when you start arguing the semantics and the details, that's when it looks like your argument ain't holding water. So just stay on point. That's all I'm asking. Just stay on point. Don't let the other shit distract you. Let him say what he gonna say. Just argue the facts with him. That's all you have to do. Don't try to change the argument.
Y'all know me. I love me some some natural. I tell y'all that all the time.
Yeah, and ain't nothing wrong with nappy hair. It's not, but just comb that shit.
She
got
going,
all these fucking.
She going for Eve. That Eve look circa early 2000s. And it ain't quite for everybody, if you feel me. You remember when Eve was
can't pull it out.
When Eve was Love Is Blind and all that other shit was going on. When Eve was popping for a little bit, you know. I think she was going for that look, maybe trying to bring that back. But you know, Eve was Eve, you know, and then she's not Eve, so we'll just leave it at that.
I don't know. Look, I can't talk about nobody else having nappy because my shit nappy right now. I did not comb my shit this morning when I woke up because I woke up late, so all I did was just threw a do-rag on my shit and went on about my day. That's all the fuck I did. So, look, I'm not really out in the eye of the public. I've probably seen maybe 20, 30 people total today. So, it is what it is. I'm not in the supermarket and all this other stuff. So, I just, you know, if you're going to go outside, at least make yourself presentable, especially if you're some type of politician. I mean, come on, you need to make a good impression. So, if her hair was nappy, then yeah, okay, somebody need to say something about it. I could see why he would mention that detail, especially her being a politician. But if it, you know, wasn't nappy or that's the look she was going for, then maybe he just didn't like the look. So, but anyway, that's just semantics. Just stay in the pocket of the argument, Miss Pete. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you was wrong or right. I'm just saying that it kind of does not help your purpose. That's all I'm saying. I'm humbly saying that.
Okay. All right. Anything else you got to add there, Trill?
No, it's just that when you have to agree with Kenneth, that's when you really need to self-evaluate.
You ain't lying.
So Prepaid, I think you need to do a little homework, bruh. Honcho, you definitely need to do a little homework.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, when Kenneth in the conversation and you kind of got to agree with him, it is a tough situation, man. I might time him out just because of that.
And Kenneth, you don't have enough intellectual clout to be attacking Roman, goddammit. You on his level. We still trying to decide which one of you motherfuckers got a brighter future, and you are not in the lead, sir. So I need you to do a little self-reflection too and work on that footwork like Honcho said.
Man, every time that question come up, it is a unanimous vote. I don't think I've ever seen anybody That's tough.
I mean, we really don't know. We just be trolling Kenneth. But he bring it on himself sometimes. Like, goddamn, Kenny, you just like a crash test dummy, bro. You You know the car going to a wall, but you just keep jumping your ass in it, bro. Stop doing it to yourself. Don't do it, bro. You know it ain't no seatbelts in this bitch. You know what's supposed to happen. Get in a regular car, Kenneth. Stop setting yourself up for failure, bro. Come on, man.
Straight up. Okay. All right. Well, you need to go work with TaylorMade. TaylorMade will get you right. You wouldn't have that. You'll be ready. Shit, you get you a couple of sessions in with TaylorMade 360, you're gonna get you 100. I guarantee you be right. Well, that's the BET, man. All right.
I'm gonna end my call with a fuck you, Heidi. You ain't shit.
That sound about right. That's BET, man.
All right, Honcho.
All right, True. Appreciate it. See, you can invest that 50 into a couple of sessions to get your footwork right. That might take you to that next level to where you can buy all them beats you want, or you can go buy them beats and get your ass beat on that field next year. So you do that's your choices there, player. That's your choices there, player. You feel me? Okay. We got a lot of calls coming in. Let me see, because I think the next one I made a promise to somebody, and the next one's gonna be the last one. So I know we got some folks trying to get in, and I hate to do y'all like that, but like I said, I made a promise to the last call, and I went a little bit longer tonight because I left y'all hanging yesterday. But this is gonna be the last one before we wrap it up. So we're gonna get this one in.
Hello,
can I please speak to Angela, please?
this is Angela.
Hello, Angela. How are you doing this evening? This is Sir Edward Honcho of the Den.
I know who it is.
Okay, good. Excellent. So we're familiar. Excellent. So some things have been said this evening. Some conversations have taken place about a particular topic this evening, and I want to give you ample opportunity to present your rebuttal, your opinions, and let's have a discussion because I want the beef. I want all the smoke. But first, I want to let you have an opportunity to present your arguments and your thoughts. So, chip cheerio. If you would like to do so, I would love to hear your views.
Okay, first, Trim, it's funny how you're focusing on the nappy-headed comment. So, no, I said more than that. He said that he would kick her in the back for having 5 items, more than 10 items, okay? Okay, so now I have a big problem with that, regardless. Okay? So, that we talking about violence here, all because she got more than 10 items. No, that was my point. Now, second of all, I know who this lady is. I don't like her anymore. I had a whole point to go through. Okay? Now, Publix is like the Chick-fil-A of grocery stores. Okay? So when you go there, I stood in line, and they said, "Come on over here." I work there too, matter of fact. But let me just tell you, as a customer first, I stood in line. They said, "Come on over here." I said, "No, I got more than 10 items." Come on. Okay. Fine. You got people coming to the store, hurrying up, coming up. And if they haven't checked me out first, I'll be like, go ahead. Now, if the cashier tells me to come there, I'm going there. Okay? Second of all, even if she didn't, let's just say she didn't, and the lady went up to the line. Now, mind you, I know who it is. I didn't vote for her. I did not vote for her because I know who she is. And yes, I'm going to get this on out. And yes, she did that for political gain, like they all do. Yes, she did. Absolutely, she did. Once it happened. Because first of all, if I go out to my car, if I get into it with somebody in the store, if I didn't, if I think I don't like somebody in the store and I go back in and I go out to my car and I come back in, that's premeditated. Okay? So, everything that happened, regardless of how he felt. And let me tell you this too. I guarantee, where's the employee that told him this? Because none of them are coming out. They're trying to find this quote unquote employee that told him to confront her. No business in this fucking world gonna tell a customer to confront another customer. Because you know what's gonna happen. Yeah, we all know.
But what I'm saying is, so is it technically the fact that he can say something about it to the customer, but they can't? Is that considered confronting or escalating a situation? Is there something wrong with that? I mean,
Honcho, why not say something to the manager?
But he said he spoke with the manager.
Another individual.
But he said that he spoke with the manager. He said that when he came to the little press conference, he said he had the name.
Ultimately, that cashier could have said, no, you have more than 10 items. This is store policy. They need to enforce their rules. There's no other customer can come tell me something. Let me tell you something. If somebody like Prepaid Mike talking about you'll kick me in the back, bitch, I will blow your fucking head off. You kick me. Hey, you say something to me or you talk about that, kick your ass in the back and all that, I'll blow your fucking head off. Quick. Because I'm licensed carrier and I practice and I shoot. Now, this is a business with somebody else. That's their store's business. Like, they need to go, if they say 10 items, goddamn it, enforce your rules. Enforce your rules. Because it's not up to me to run their store. It's not up to me. It's really not. Like, and I guarantee that employee said go say something to the manager. He didn't say go say something to that customer. Come on, man, that's a lot of people. Somebody gets shot and killed in their store over an argument over 5 more groceries. Come on, man. That's why they can't find him. And that's why this motherfucker hiding. Right now.
Who's hiding?
Georgia. He's hiding.
Who's hiding?
He is.
No, he's not.
Y'all only see what people are bringing to y'all.
If he came out on the news, so how is he hiding?
He has a right to hide.
How is he hiding though? If he came out on the news, he willingly came to the news where it was happening. So how is he hiding? He came to the news where she was doing an interview. He came out there.
You're seeing that, but after those 3 news clips you see, which is really 7, after those 3, motherfuckers hide. It said he's scared for his life.
Because you got people who are not following the story who are probably openly threatening this man. So why would he be out? That doesn't make any sense though. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Hear me out. Hear me out.
This man should have death threats on his life.
Okay, but if somebody's threatening his life, so why what other reason would he go into hiding? Because if he openly came out to the scene where everything was to make it known, to clarify his side of the story.
And as soon as he did that, all shit went to hell.
Okay, so why? Because people didn't want to hear what the truth was. They wanted to follow that, and that's what makes it. So that's what. So
the point is, the man
that makes it worse.
There's no employee in that store that said they told him that.
Okay, regardless of the employee or not.
No employee.
Okay, but here's this. Okay, regardless if the employee said it or not. But like that's kind of like at the same time it's kind of irrelevant. It holds a little bit of merit, but you can't put that on public. He made the decision. If the employee said, "Hey, we can't say nothing," you can if you want to. Well, he wanted to, so he said it. So that's on him.
Why? Say something to the person to the manager. Like, handle your shit. You're a little bit muffled, Miss. I'm trying to hear you because you're a little bit muffled, and I couldn't catch like the last 10 seconds of what you said. Okay, let's be real for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I hear an echo, and I don't even have the live stream on. I don't have it on.
Okay, let me see.
I don't have the live stream on. I'm echoing.
Okay, let me see.
I don't.
All right, I don't know. How does it sound to the chat? Is it y'all catching the echo? Like I said, because it sounds normal to me, but I might have to cut it down a little bit. Let me see. All right, say something there, Ms. Meek.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cut it down low. Is that? Are you still catching the echo?
Hold on a second. Maybe. Hold on. Okay, hello?
Yes.
Okay. So, Honcho,
Okay.
let's be real.
Okay, let's be real.
Why on earth would you confront a customer? Why? Like, if
Okay,
I
but
have a problem with the store,
but here's the thing.
if I have a problem with this store,
Mhm.
I'm going to the store manager.
Okay, but here's the deal though. If it's the person who committed the problem, why is it? I mean, is it illegal to address them?
I'm not addressing nothing to no customer.
But he obviously he did. But what I'm saying is, what you would do. But this is what I'm saying. Let's take the facts here. Let's take the facts here. What you would do and what he would do obviously are different because he chose to address the
I've been
customer.
behind people. You've been behind.
Hold on, let's see.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me? I don't know if it's cutting in and out. I'm trying to make sure I'm hearing you clearly here.
I will not go out to my car and come back in.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Okay, so but what I'm saying is, what you would do and what he would do and what I would do, all three of us would do something completely different. None of us would. Let's talk about what actually did happen with him. Okay, and what he did was confront the customer, whether he spoke to management or not. He made the ultimate decision on his own to confront the customer. Now, do you feel like it was illegal for him to do that? I don't know if I can hear that. Hold on, I'm not sure if it's on my end.
Illegal?
Okay.
Okay, no, it's not illegal, but why?
Okay,
Like,
but we can't justify why people.
Like the cashier took that customer. That's up to that cashier.
And that's fine, and I understand that. But if what he did was not illegal, not saying it was in the best interest, not saying it was smart to do it all. We're not saying anything. And if he really felt that way, I feel like he should have addressed it then or when he was behind her before doing all of that stuff. I agree with all of that. But what I'm saying is,
get in your goddamn car and go home.
Okay, but that's what most reasonable people would do. But we know in America, not everybody is reasonable.
Listen,
Would you agree with that?
But listen, I said, once she had the situation, she did take it too far.
And so what I'm saying is this.
She did.
Okay, what I'm saying is, and I think this is where we all agree, kind of disagree, and I think this is because I think it's really two parts to this whole scenario. And what that is what took place actually in the store, and then what took place in social media and the media. So I think there's like a divide there from what was happening with the actual situation and then what the perceived situation was when it got pushed to the media via the internet and the news. So was she wrong for the items? Yes. She went into a line.
No, because let me tell you, I worked at Publix. They told me if you're standing there and there's somebody in the line, standing there, go get that customer no matter how many items.
Okay, and I understand that.
Probably didn't hear that.
Okay, but what I'm saying, but at the same time, is
didn't
this?
Say that. Even if she didn't say that, go talk to the management and say, stop this bullshit. Don't let nobody in this line with over 10 items.
Okay, but
point blank.
I can understand all of these. This
motherfucker don't have no right to go back and say something to the customer.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, she is, because let's not negate her level of intelligence. When we make all these excuses for everybody and we kind of ignore her actions, we're downplaying her level. She's a state representative. She's an intelligent woman.
That's what I said. That's her.
So
she took it to the extreme. She took it to the extreme because she is a politician. But guess what? If he'd have mind his fucking business,
but again,
or talk to the manager, and I ain't even gonna say mind his business. Let me retract that. If he'd have went in there and said, "Hey, let me talk to management. She has 20 fucking items in a 10-item lane. Stop this shit."
Okay. Well, apparently he said he talked to the manager
because she's not gonna change anything either way it goes.
But he said he talked to the manager.
He brought the attention to her.
Okay. So
he did. But that still doesn't give a motherfucker the right to say that he'll kick her in the back.
But this is two different things.
This one in the back.
One is hyperbolic language. One is just being over exaggeration with the language. Come on now, prepaid ain't finna go out there hitting people with the shinobi kicks.
Listen, violence is violence. regardless of how men look at it and how women look at it, y'all can't tell us how to look at it, Honcho. Y'all can look at it one way, but women gonna definitely look at it another way. Listen, I don't care about somebody else's opinion. That's what makes the world go round.
But see, here's the deal,
It doesn't matter
though.
what you think and what I think. But don't be starting to put a violence in the shit. Come on now.
Come on now.
Listen, disregard the nappy head comment. Because I'm nappy headed and I don't give a fuck for other love. Let's disregard that. You talking about, I can get bitching about because you got saying about items. Come on now. Don't even say no shit like that.
Okay, Miss Mead, I got a question for you.
It's okay to have different opinions, but don't say no shit like that because y'all don't know what really happened. Because I'm telling y'all, Publix don't play no games. If you're standing in your line, okay, and there's 3 other lines open, and everybody else got 30, 40 items. If I'm standing there not doing it, and I don't go pull one of them, I'm fired. So now, you got this little motherfucker coming in the door. He ain't saying nothing. But she pulled me. Why would I say no when she pulled me to her?
But how do we know that this is what I'm saying. This is the narrative that's being brought that nobody has mentioned. But you keep injecting this into the story. But you keep injecting this possibility into the story that nobody has proof of. So the likelihood that happened is just the same likelihood that it did.
Okay, where does it say he's Cuban? Where does it say he's Cuban? Y'all see his birth certificate.
So what you've done is, but this is what I'm saying. So you're willing to add things that nobody's mentioned, said, or included into the story versus something that is on film. Yes, that's what nobody's known. This is not a scenario though. We're going by things that have actually. The man said he's Cuban on record, so we have to take him at that. I didn't make up anything about he's possibly Cuban. I didn't say Donald Trump ain't got nothing to do with this. But what I'm saying, that's on hold weight. So what the man, so with that saying, okay, if he said he's Cuban and that don't hold weight, then I can say that you saying that people at Publix don't play, that don't hold weight because I got to take you at face value, right? I have to take you at your word, so I have to take him at his word. So how does that how does what you're saying hold more weight than him who is a person being in the situation? Because you don't want to agree with his race and we don't have a birth certificate.
That's what you're not trying. That's what you're not listening to. I'm saying this lady was right, okay? You know what happened. What could have happened, and nobody knows the actual situation. Because first of all, where the video? Because if there was a video, trust me, that video would have been out by now.
Okay. All I'm saying is, did you watch the interaction between them two on the video between them two? Okay. So in your opinion,
I do not like that lady.
Okay, regardless. So when he mentioned that he saw the video, would you agree or disagree that her expressions changed a bit?
I don't know if he saw the video.
He said he saw the video.
Like that.
He said it.
Got to do it. The cops got to go and say it.
But what I'm saying,
that's what he ain't went in there and looked at no motherfucking video.
So why would he say that? So you so what I'm saying is, so this is what you're telling me is that let's disavow anything that this man who was involved in the situation said, but then you're telling me let's interject some possibilities that could happen.
His car and went the fuck home. He should have went home.
But that didn't happen. So the situation escalated into something.
Even if he didn't go home, you go complain to the manager because the cashier rung her up. It's ultimately the cashier's responsibility to say, no, you can't come in this line if you have more than 10 items. Yeah, I just said she was. Listen, she was doing that for political gain. Absolutely, Honcho. I'm agreeing with that.
Okay.
She saw an opportunity and she struck. He shouldn't have gave her that second opportunity.
Absolutely not. And I agree with that.
Did.
But what I'm saying...
Guess what's happening now in that county? Oh, they all for her. Oh, my God. He's telling people he's having to hide and leave the county.
Okay, so, but is that justified in any way? If he's came out and said this did not happen like this, and you can see her demeanor visibly change, now because people are so emotionally tied into her story, when this man came out to defend himself, you can go look at his Twitter feed, his beliefs and everything else are all out there.
Why would you have to defend yourself if you was minding your fucking business?
It happened, so we cannot go back in retrospect. It doesn't matter. Like, that's not a justifiable argument. Like, it happened.
Well, why don't we... Okay, since we're paying that much attention to people having found extra groceries, why the fuck we don't pay attention to these kids getting abused right next door to you? sexually molested right next door to you, but you ignore that shit.
But what I'm saying, that has nothing to do with this conversation. We gotta stay within the confines of the conversation. We cannot add the kid. Look at the Honcho love the kids.
It ain't no add nothing.
But we can't bring the kids. This is a conversation between two grown. How was he racially profiled?
I don't give a fuck if he say he was Cuban, because the Cubans are racist against us here.
Ricky Ricardo? You telling me Ricky Ricardo was a racist?
Do you think that's the only?
That's the only
Cuban.
Do you
think that's the only person he's seen have more than 10 items?
Apparently, if all the other lanes were empty and that was the only one.
No, he just.
All I'm saying is this: she openly admitted having more items. If you don't have more items in the lane, it never happened. I'm not saying that I've never done it. Not saying that the possibility didn't. I'm not discounting that possibility. I'm not saying that he should have went and said something, but all of that did happen. Okay, that stuff did happen. It took place, and it should have ended right there. When he left the store, she'd have been like, "Oh, this old clown ass motherfucker gonna tell me what to do." She should have laughed with the cashier, went home, and been done with it. That's where this whole thing should have ended. That's point blank. Whether he should have, we see people all the time do shit they have no fucking business doing. You see goofy people calling the cops on barbecuers and all this other off the wall shit. They have no business doing it. The lady who wouldn't let the dude in his own building, she got fired and all of that. We see it all the time. So let's not act like it'll never happen. He should have did it. People do it. People do it. We've acknowledged that fact. Now, the way you handle it afterwards is where it becomes an issue, because now you've labeled this man, regardless if he's an asshole, if he's a dickhead, if he's a piece of shit. But what you start doing is you start putting a false narrative on this man. And now that this man's life is being threatened, in no way would you say that any way her life was in danger while interacting with this man. At any point was her life in danger?
No, and she.
Okay, so why is it justifiable now that this man has to run and hide for his life?
More attention to her though.
How?
Like her, like I don't like what she does and does. Like don't like her is now about to vote for her.
But what I'm saying is now this man's life is in danger. Now, did he make a stupid decision? Yeah, but by her going and blowing up something false because there was things that he did not say, she took that rhetoric and blew it up into something. Now this man's life is in danger. When hers was never in danger, she might have been upset, might not have liked what he did. If she wouldn't have done that, it wouldn't have happened. He didn't have to be an asshole about it. We got that. But now she went out and escalated this into a thing where this man's, people are dumb. People go out and do stupid shit. So what I'm saying is, at what point are we holding her more liable because her actions were more dangerous than this man's actions? Again, what happened between them could have never been known outside of him, her, and a couple of Publix employees. But now this has become a nationwide epidemic, and now this man is running for his life after trying to defend his own character.
So was it worth it over 5 more groceries?
But all I'm saying is, the man didn't think that his life would be threatened. But what I'm saying, at that point, for him it might have been.
If he had 5 more groceries, was it worth it?
It may have been. If he may have had a point that he wanted to get out, and at that point, he may have felt like, yes, it was. Did he think that she was going to go home and lie on it?
It wasn't. Now he wasn't.
Okay, but you can't justify that. But what I'm saying is you cannot justify. You cannot justify your life being threatened.
If I have a complaint about a business, I go to the management. No way I would go to the company. If they let them get away with it, then they let them get away with it.
Regardless of what took place in there, once that woman left, she lied about the interaction.
But he was outside. He could have gotten his car and drove out.
None of that matters. She lied about the interaction.
Why does that matter? Why does it walk away? Why does it walk away? So now it's not a walk away thing.
She lied about the interaction, though. So how much merit?
Because he came back and so he made it.
But he didn't say those things. So let's tell me this. Let's be honest, Miss Meat. So if she would have got on there crying and said, "Well, I had too many groceries in the line, and this guy didn't like it. He told me something about it. We had a little bit of an argument, and then he left." I can't believe that. Do you think it would have stirred up the same amount of anger that it's stirring up right now when she included that he said, "Go back to my country," when he didn't say that? So do you think if she would have just got on there,
And I just
Okay, so but that's what I'm saying. So
amped it up for her a little bit of game. But guess what?
but there's no
When he
there
went out that
that's it.
goddamn door,
Point blank period. But
he
what I'm
got
saying
in
is
the car and left.
but what I'm saying is
Public.
when you add that rhetoric, knowing now the tension that is already going on currently in this country, you've endangered this man's life. She needs to be held liable for that. Because whether he was an asshole or not, if she would have got on live and but
She didn't
listen,
say nothing to him.
she lied on the man.
On her.
She lied on the man.
On an employee. He lied on
How do you know he lied on the employee? He came out of the thing and said somebody's name. He said that he spoke to somebody. They should have all of. But at any point did he threaten her life? At any point did he try to do something? Did he try to manipulate something to threaten her life? Everything he said he did.
Because he said the employee. Yes, he did try to manipulate.
How? So you telling me he lied directly to her face in front of the store, in front of everybody? You have proof that he didn't talk to an employee? Because didn't he say the manager's name?
So they both lied.
But didn't he say the manager's name? But the thing is, he made
nappy-headed and just to be abused. It used to be abused because she had time on groceries.
Again. This woman lied in a way for her own gain and put this man's life in danger.
Hands on him.
Did she talk about putting hands? Did he talk about putting hands on her?
Well, let me tell you something. You're not listening. When that man came back in, she took her every opportunity, and she lied. And she didn't. Why the fuck didn't go say something to the manager?
He said he spoke to the manager.
To the manager, not her.
But he said he talked to the manager.
That's a dangerous situation. That's a danger. Listen, if I'm going into the woman restroom, right?
Mm-hmm. We'll go down to the woman's restroom. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. You saying okay? Go ahead. You saying if you go into the woman's restroom? No.
I don't know. For some reason, it's behind on my phone. I don't know. I'm listening to you now. Hold on.
You got that button on?
You said, what point are we holding her more liable? Okay. First of all, like I said, I know this lady. I would never vote for this lady for anything. But guess what he did? Even if she lied or not, guess what he did? He made her more famous.
How?
Why didn't he even talk to the customer? Talk to the manager.
How did he make her famous? But this is what I'm saying. He didn't make her famous. She made herself famous.
Public.
She made herself.
Public, Honcho.
But what I'm saying is, she made herself famous because that, like I said, that altercation should have been.
We already knew her in Georgia. Y'all didn't know her.
But what I'm saying is, but that's what I'm saying. But she made herself famous. He didn't record her. He didn't do all that. She went on a live Facebook stream, knowing that you are a state representative in Georgia.
But guess
you have supporters.
Who they call a liar now?
Her.
Who they call a liar?
They calling her the liar.
His own business.
You're the only person that's called him a liar. You're the only person who's called him a liar.
I understand what you're saying. But there's a liar right now.
Who? You're the only person I've heard call him a liar.
Right? All y'all may be right, but I'm just saying that man all he had to do, in the time of the day that they was in that store, there's nobody in that store. There's nobody in that store. Okay, she did. You have to come back in. You put your groceries in the car and come back in.
But here's the thing, though.
She wouldn't have to lie.
She wouldn't have to lie if she was an honest politician. She shouldn't have to lie. There should have been no lie. You can't just brush it. Well, she wouldn't have to. There's no reason to lie, period. If he felt honorably, if he felt righteous about what he did, I cannot condemn his actions. Obviously, he felt righteous about what he did. He did not break the law in doing that.
Y'all.
He did not break the law in what he did.
Okay. Like this one, so y'all go to the front. They customer, manager, don't be fucking surprised at what you get because Georgia has to send grandma instead of other places. So, that being said, talk to the fucking manager. Front and customer, okay? They run that store. The customer don't run that store. This is what I'm trying to say. The customer don't run that store. So if you think, and walk up to every person and just a political game, or try to get more customers. Some motherfucker blow the motherfucking head.
So, because if I tell you, excuse me, man, with all due respect, I deserve to get shot for that.
Why would you talk? That's not, I know you don't, but that's not.
Okay, so then that point is point. It's over. It's the man said it, and she did not try to correct him because she knows that's what he said. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, so people aren't allowed to interact anymore. Is that what you're saying? People shouldn't even talk to each other anymore. Like we should just not exist in society with one another. Because if I have an issue with you, if it's on the street, if it's somewhere else, like I ain't gonna. I'm not old running to management, running to the police type. If we got a situation, let's handle our situation. My thing is this. Regardless of all that other shit.
Go to the police.
But what I'm saying is,
if I have I'm not going to confront people. I'm not going to confront people that I don't know. They're stupid to.
But what I'm saying, so what I mean, if the man start off his statement with
reckless advice, reckless advice to just confront people that they don't know.
So saying, hey, excuse me, ma'am, with all due respect, what you did was this, and this.
It's still reckless. People don't take that.
So
if that was me, I'd be like, okay, my bad. If that was me, I'd say, okay, my bad. If you came to me behind me and I went up to the lane, that lady didn't tell me to come check out my 30 items. If you came to me and said, ma'am, with all due respect, I'll be like, my bad, go ahead. But everybody is not like that.
Okay. But
everybody's
so we're justifying delusional people.
Reckless.
We're justifying.
Tell people to go confront
so we're justifying irrational people now. Is that what we're doing?
No, I'm just. I can't justify anybody in this world. But what I'm saying to you is reckless advice to tell people to go confront perfect strangers. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot confront perfect strangers.
Okay. So wouldn't you say this? And this will be my last point. Okay. By you, just like you said, somebody, is it not the same to, let me make sure I word this properly, to confront someone for something you perceive that they're doing wrong? Is that not the same as somebody doing something wrong to you, or you felt like somebody slighted you? So if he felt like he was slighted by this woman having too many items in the line, but then she felt she's justified in feeling however she wants to feel because he said something about it. What's the difference?
You're not sitting over here killing a child. You got extra groceries. It's not worth. Like, people are crazy. You can lose your life.
So you can't lose your life for having too many groceries. Like what? But what I'm saying is, like, what is the difference? So it's okay for me to impede on the rules at my whim, but because somebody tells me about it, I get to shoot them down because they told me I did something wrong. That's what you're saying.
Just say you confront this. Okay. Just say you tell this customer go wrong. Okay. Just say this. You just say I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. What the fuck the customer gonna do for the next person going there with 30 items instead of talking to the manager? She's not gonna give a fuck. You confront the wrong people. Like, don't tell people to court the perfect strangers in front of them. That's reckless advice.
So, what you're saying is that ignore the rules of the grocery store, pack a strap just in case somebody tell you something for ignoring the rules, and shoot them down if they tell you you're in the wrong for something that you're doing, and that's justifiable.
Did that take money? Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, Honcho, you believe what you believe. You know what I'm saying is, please don't give people reckless advice and going up to confront.
But what we're doing is we're
confront the manager.
Okay, the management and everything else, all that stuff is cool. All that stuff is cool. But whether he went to the manager or not and everything else
that one customer's not going to change everything in that store, though.
Okay.
That one customer is not going to stop everybody from coming up there with extra items.
Okay. So, because this woman had extra items, this man confronted for, now it's justifiable that his life is being threatened.
No, I just said it wasn't. That's what it is.
So does she need to come out? Does she need to come out and openly and blatantly say that she lied about that interaction?
Okay, him saying, "Hey, that you got 20 items," that wasn't going to stop the next customer from coming up there with 24 items. You complain to the corporate, you complain to the management. That customer was not going to stop that. Telling people to go up to perfect strangers is reckless advice. And they could get killed behind it.
Honestly, they are.
Listen, I wouldn't kill nobody behind advice. Because if they told me, I'd be like, go ahead, you can go first. But telling people that's reckless advice.
I mean, I don't, because what I'm trying to say here is the point of what happened in the store at this point is irrelevant, because that's not where the situation escalated. The situation escalated when a politician, an elected official, got on social media and told people that she was berated by a racist, and she tied in, phrasing that's a hot phrase right now.
It escalated when he was outside. He could have gotten in the car and drove off.
No,
it escalated when he brought his ass back in the store.
Mm-mm.
I don't care what you say. That's when it escalated.
Okay,
she is not the manager. She's not the owner.
Okay,
of
but
that
what you're
store.
saying, so it escalated when it involved maybe 2, maybe 3, 4 people at the most. So we could say a cashier, a manager, maybe 2. Or it didn't escalate when it got pushed out to thousands, then millions of people. So which one was a bigger escalation? Yes, it was an escalation, an interaction between 2 people. Then it became an interaction or a supposed interaction overheard by millions. And now people are thinking one thing, and then it comes out that something else is what happened. So is what she did or what he did really the bigger escalation?
I'm not justifying her actions. That's what you're not getting, Honcho.
But what I'm saying is...
justifying. What I'm saying is this. Stop confronting strangers. They are not the owner of the store. This shit could be deadly. It could be deadly.
And I get this. I get this about the strangers. I mean, you shouldn't. It ain't even got to be in the store. But I mean, you can get shot for a stranger for walking across the road. These are just things that happen.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, did she not do a very dangerous act by going onto social media and fabricating certain details of that story? Knowing the climate, especially the political climate.
Yes, fabricating certain details.
Okay.
So details she did not, because he did not have to cut his ass back in that store.
But you keep going back to that. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. If she'd have told the story as it happened, no one would have gave a fuck. Nobody would have gave a shit. If she would have told the story as it happened.
If he would have gotten his car and drove
No,
off.
you see, now you're saying so she had to lie. See, you keep going back and you keep justifying this woman's behavior. Stop doing that. There's no justification for it. If he would have did this, he did not do that. But if she'd have told the story exactly as it happened, and she knows that if she would have told the story exactly as it wouldn't have got traction. That man never said anything about go back to your country or go back to none of this stuff. She added that stuff because she wanted to, and then it blew it up into something.
None of that would have been misconstrued if he'd have gotten his fucking car and drove off.
You can't misconstrue something that didn't happen. So she added a lot. She added a lot.
Checked out before her. So that means he got his expedient expeditiously. He expeditiously got out of there. But he had the need to go back in and confront this black lady, or lady, or woman, any fucking body, or man, white man. He felt the need to go out to his car, put his groceries down, and come back in. Who the fuck does that? Yeah, come on.
I cannot.
Okay, just one thing, Honcho. Just one thing. I'm telling you, I admit she over-exaggerated. She a political game. I admit it. You admit one fucking thing to me. Why did you have to come back in the store after he was already out of his car?
I've said it multiple times on this call, prior to this call, that he was not right for doing that. I've admitted it. He should have went on about his way. It really wasted his own time to do it. I've said that. I don't disagree with any of that.
So now he got death threats.
But what I'm saying is, but that is not justifiable.
I don't agree with that.
You cannot justify that he deserves death threats because he spoke his mind about something. So here's the deal. Okay, how about this, Miss Meat? Let's talk about this. Talk about this. So say you see somebody out in public with their child and they're spanking their child and you feel like it's a little bit too rough and you speak your mind about it. Now it's really none of your business. If a child wants to, they're not beating them. They're not just they're not throwing. No, it's not. But look, but
Because
this is
anybody who don't say nothing about a kid,
but what I'm saying is, if this person is disciplining their child, and it may not be overwhelming, it may be some pats on the butt or whatever, just because you don't like it and you speak up, because people will speak up. Because there's some people who believe in no spanking, no matter what. Some people say, "Hey, spare the rod, spoil the child." But if you speak on somebody say, "Hey, shut the fuck up, mind your own business. It's my child." Right? Because it's something in which it's not your business. So do you deserve to, does your life deserve to be threatened for butting into somebody else's
That's
business?
a totally different. Yes, your life deserve to be threatened to do it to a child. Yes,
No.
sir.
So
Yes,
if you're telling somebody to stop
but-
whooping their kid, your life deserves to be threatened for telling them to stop doing that?
I'm telling you, this man does not. He does not deserve what he's doing right now. I'm telling you this. But he was outside of Publix. He was in his fucking car. He claimed he talked to another employee. No employees to this. To this. So it's like between customers. He on.
I can't hear you. You're kind of cutting out, so I'm not sure if we. The last little bit,
Yeah, you kind of cutting out too.
Okay. Well, this is what's gonna happen, Miss B. We gonna agree to disagree, and we gonna leave it there because I gotta get some rest because it's. I know I'm right.
But one thing,
I know I'm right, but I'm gonna let you make it.
Let me say this to Trill.
Mm-hmm.
I like everything he said, but don't do stuff that I was just talking about the nappy head thing. No, sir. It wasn't about that. It was about him kicking her in the back. Okay? Kicking a woman, whether she black, pregnant or not, in the back. Okay? That's what this was about. Because you got 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 extra groceries. You don't use no fucking woman because you got extra groceries. That's what this is about, okay? And maybe y'all ain't gonna change. And listen, y'all got y'all points. Y'all could be loud and do me what the fuck ever. That's what I'm saying. And he should have said that. And you know, he should have said that nappy head bitch. I keep that bitch in the back. No, he should have said that bullshit. Because she had 5 extra groceries, so what's gonna happen if she got 30 extra groceries? You gonna kill the bitch?
I'm finna toss out the line. I'm finna get physical. Look, you got 30 extra groceries past the limit. You know better than what you doing, shit.
I'm saying, I am who I am. That's why this is the den. I'm gonna agree with everybody, what you say. Not even you, Honcho. I am who I am. Okay? So, now, with that being said, all the, yay, women of boldness, violence against women, fuck you. Fuck you if you think that's okay to prevent violence against women. Fuck you.
Okay. I agree. No violence against women. We love the ladies in the den. We love ladies. We like hoes. We just hate them bitches. But Miss Meat,
I still love y'all.
I love you too, Miss Meat. I appreciate you. I don't know if you've been a good sport. You was being difficult on purpose, but I still love you and I appreciate you taking the call.
Yep, man. Still listening. Still call in. Can't nobody run me out because I'm me.
I'm sorry, Angela, not Miss Me, Angela.
Yes, I am Angela.
Because
I tell you, I'm Angela. I'm Angela because you don't want to call me Miss Me because it sounds like a porno.
Yeah, that's some more porno shit.
Sound like a porno. Yeah. Okay.
That might be one of them.
And I enjoyed your show Saturday on the in the podcast, even though it wasn't the regular podcast that I was used to, but we found it.
Yeah.
But listen, Honcho, please put some instructions in that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. That's because that's the first time I think I did it on that one. So I'm gonna figure it all out now. Make sure to make it clarified for next time.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Shout out to Miss Me. Good night. Appreciate your call.
Rise up.
Ah, damn it. Ah, damn. She got me. She fucking got me. Because I was waiting in the beginning of the call for her to come with that rise up shit. But anyway, that's going to be the last call for tonight. I went extra 30, 45 minutes and shit. I'm supposed to be trying to get some rest on y'all motherfucking asses. Shout out to Miss B. She wasn't going to let me have it. Just was not going to let me have it. But like I said, this story will unfold and it will continue on. I think this was one of the more interesting topics. Nikki, motherfucking Nicole asked, why do I continue to have these topics? Because you gotta have something to see. You know, sometimes in the den it don't matter what we talk about in the den because we always gonna get into some beef no matter what. It could be women, the women folk love to disagree with the men folk. You feel me? I could do a topic saying women are the greatest things to ever walk God's green earth, and y'all would disagree with us just for the sake of disagreement. You know, that's how y'all be doing it. We love y'all. We don't do anything but open our hearts to you and tell you how much we love you and want y'all to have the greatest lives ever. But it's all good, man. I appreciate y'all. The little dilly dally rant, I guess I should have read it then, but it is what it is. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Hey, we'll be live tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time. Look for some content coming. Like I said, I know I've been a little bit dry on the content. Been working on a lot of shit, trying to just get some things or figure some stuff out. Trying to understand what YouTube is trying to do to hoe a nigga. So I know I can work around that and continue some growth. A bunch of people jump ship. They didn't like that pro-black conversation. Hey, man, look, y'all got to understand me and make sure you watch both parts, because what happened is a lot of people watched the second part where the stream split up. And then they got mad. They was like, oh, I don't like what you saying. And you said this. And I never said any of that shit. Like, my biggest issue, man, look, we can talk all kind of crazy. We can do all kind of stuff. Just make sure you understand what I'm saying. You can disagree. I don't care about you disagreeing with me at all. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to still love you no matter what. Just don't say I said some shit I did not say. Like, that's it. That's the only thing. Don't say I said, people in here saying I said, oh, white people deserve different sentences for black. I've never said that. I never said that. Like, and if you can find any point where you can put the stream together where that makes sense, because there was a call I think that I had with Trill where he was talking about different people deserving different sentences. At no point in time did I say that white people should deserve a lesser. Like, what do I look like saying some foolishness like that? Me saying some shit like that. So that's what I'm saying about clarity, and yeah, but here's my thing. Like I say, the reason and what most people did not take away from it was that I say, well, I don't identify as pro-black. Just Sarah, what's the motherfucking deal? And why I said I don't identify with pro-black, because I don't like to be labeled. I wouldn't want to be labeled in the same category as a lot of these people. And then, you know, the people who run with the Malcolm terminology and all that shit don't realize what Malcolm really stood for and what he was really about. They just use random quotes and then their whole life is everything that he was against. So that's my thing. That's my thing. But yes, topics like this, yeah, like Trill said, you get suckered into it. It gets you caught up when you're supposed to be neutral. Yeah, that's what exactly. That's what I say. People just want to. They just want to say what they want to say to feel like they own some shit. But it is what it is. No dead in bond. I don't know if I need to be a bond. Oh, we got some stuff to talk about too, because I know I didn't even get a chance to bring it up tonight. We were so busy on this. I see female Thor is a hot button issue, and we got to talk about. I don't know if I'm happy or if I'm disappointed. I think I'm disappointed, but they're making a new Blade. And man, I don't know how I feel about it, man. I don't know how I feel about that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a female Thor coming and a new Blade. So we'll probably be discussing some of this tomorrow. Yeah, I told all that, I was like, man, I don't know about this new Blade, nigga. I don't even know who that nigga is. She told me, yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I never seen none of that. This nigga look like Future without the dreads. Who said that? Somebody was like, I was like, yeah, that nigga kind of do look like Future without no dreads. Nah, no Snipes, some new nigga, some new. But they said he's been in a bunch of movies. Like he's a rapper with and some other shit. Yeah, look. Since we took Ariel and James Bond in the racial draft, I traded Blade for Bond in the racial draft. So hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope it was worth it. But anyway, I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm out here, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all. We'll be back on it. Mañana, links in the description, everything you need to know. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central. Everything Central Time. Den Show Live, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. denshowlive@gmail if you want to send an email, 833-284-3336 if you ever want to call, send a text message, screenshot a news story, send a funny meme. It is Send News Sunday, so y'all get on that. Is it Sunday? Is it Monday? I don't even know. It's technically Monday. If you want to support the channel, shout out to Dan, the man. Appreciate Dan dropping the Denjamins in the den. And like I said, they will eat their own. Streamlabs.com/The Den Show if you want to support the channel with a one-time donation. Shout out to all the Patreon supporters. Shout out to Miss Grace, James, Tina Starry-Eyed, Goya, Donald Trump, Dan the Man, Diana, and Betty Spaghetti. Appreciate y'all having faith in the future of this community. And like I say, I've been trying to figure out how to handle the Patreon content for the Den folks. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I maybe putting a Dropbox link or a Google Play link. I'm gonna see how that works out, because like I said, the other platform won't let me post it, and I think the PDF thing is just kind of, it can be a hassle. So I'm gonna see how that works out. So expect that coming either tomorrow or Wednesday. Like I say, it's just coming. I'm telling y'all, man, it's going down. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. This is the best conversation. Tonight is why this is the best conversation. Whether we agree, disagree, we argue, support, because there's gonna be some shit you should never agree 100% with anybody on anything. If you do, there may be an issue with you. But the people must be heard. Shout out to the Den. Shout out to the Den folks. Shout out to the Den Generous, Den Zens, and friends of the Den. I will catch y'all manana, man. Something to produce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I'm finna steal some pistachio. Sweet Berry still in here? I'm trying to hit me a pistachio lick before she come up and steal all the motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Heidi, B minus on that one. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a B minus joke on that one. Good night, everybody. Appreciate everybody coming through. And yeah, man. Damn, I gotta wait till 12 to eat. Ain't that a bitch? I'm gone.